Oh, I'm on. How you doing, people? He's all right. Bear with me a wee second here. Cheers, Marshall. So we're probably going to have some people in the chat who are here to hear exactly what the fuck's going to be said here. There's a few things on my mind, and I'm going to do my best to put it clearly, but at the same time, I'm not going to fucking hold back anymore, right? Not that I really have held back, but I have been trying to be tactful at certain points. This whole thing is pissing me right off. Now, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out whether I'm more pissed off at these agencies and the tactics they're using, or I'm more pissed off at the people who keep giving them a fucking platform and a place, right? So a couple of names I'm going to talk about today. The first one I'm going to talk about is this irritable bowel syndrome, or IPS, whatever the fuck his name is, and where he appeared from, when he appeared, and the stuff that is now going on. Like, I'm watching a hangout right now. One of the tests that I done, I put that advert up this morning, and I thought I'm going to see how long it takes before a live comes on or a live is advertised. And then bang, we have one at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. flat earth chat. So we've got somebody who gets out of his bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and just decides to go live and have guests there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, if this stuff is just no ringing in people's ears, are people really that gullible? And right now, I'm looking there and it's saying that there's 400 people there listening. Now, who the fuck are these people who are giving these people attention? And on that very same panel, you've got guys like Tim Osman, right? Guys who misrepresent people and lie about them, use their children and, stuff like that. And you've got these people who still give them a platform and a place to speak and to be heard, right? So, hang on a wee minute. As I've said before, many, many times, this is a huge thing. If you don't think that there's agency involvement on both sides, although there is no both sides, but for this arena here, they've perpetuated both sides. Now they've got people in the both sides. And the main focus here is to keep people in confusion so that people are not focused on what is really important, right? And that you sit back and leave it up to these fucking celebrities. So just bear with me a wee second here. So this very first character, what I've heard so far, and what I've seen is that he has appeared a month ago. He was promoted by many prominent people for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I'm hearing claims that he's making that he was a 32nd degree Freemason and all that shit, right? We'll get to that in a wee minute. But let's look at this appearing 1 month ago and now to the point where there's 400 people watching live, and that they're always live and that they're promoting each other. Now, I've been here in the trenches for over 2 years, and so have many other people, right? That don't get a voice, they don't get to be heard, but characters like this are pushed right to the top of the pile. Now I look for content, and I look to see what it is they've got to offer. Now the only content I could see that I can trace to that time was an empty gesture of going into a council building, having your say so that they say that it's logged, and then it gets put in a filing cabinet and left until the end of fucking time, never to be seen again. Doesn't progress anything anywhere, doesn't push anything forward, right? So it's like they come in, they mimic your format, they mimic the things that you're saying, they then offer you this empty gesture, because remember, we're out getting active and pushing things and getting known and getting people involved, so they know that they have to mimic that, so they offer you an empty gesture of, I stood in front of a council board and said that NASA's get fakery, jot it down, put it in a file cabinet, go away, and then bang, everybody promotes them and they're at the top of the pile, and it's wonderful. Alarm bells ring in my mind continually, right? I don't know why people who say they're involved in truth and they're supposedly switched on are not getting this, right? And if you're getting it, you need to stop going and giving them fucking attention. Stop bumping their numbers up, right? Because remember, people, this is a huge thing. And if you're aware that the power is not going to be handed over or left that easily, then they're going to have to wheel out something else to replace what already exists right now. Okay? So you need to start thinking about how they're going to achieve that. Hang on a wee second here. As I say, numbers and popularity mean fuck all to me. But still, when I look at numbers and I look at the popularity of certain individuals and people, you've got to sit back and say, where does that come from and why is that happening? Right? Because it's not through merit or offering anything or any progression whatsoever. Nothing that this guy's ever said is anything different that's been said here. And the amount of them that are mimicking it, especially this guy, irritable bowel syndrome, whatever your fucking name is, right? So they just appear, right? They spout all this stuff, but they've never came here, right? and infinite planes and all this fucking nonsense. Here's another thing. What if the plan is to unveil that, oh, it's an infinite plane, we didn't want to tell anybody, but we need to progress technology and we need the expeditions to see if we can reach it further and further, but it's going to take us 30 years or it's going to take us a long time and we didn't want to tell anybody because we wanted to get ahead. You need to watch out for things like this and what these fuckers are going to be up to, right? You need to break out of the delusion and stop fucking kidding yourself on that, oh, it's all a big happy party and these fucking characters are going to take us forward. They're not going to take you anywhere, right? What I sat and listened to is a fucking joke. Oh, I'm going to meet such and such at the Flat Earth Conference and I'm going to wrestle with Timmy Osmond in the ring. I mean, for fuck's sake, what a bunch of fucking morons. And you're a fucking moron if you're sitting listening to them, right? And taking it in. Ooh, fucking snap out of it. There's real fucking people here who put their necks in the fucking line, went out into the fucking street, done everything they committed their whole life, their whole time, with no money, no revenue, nothing coming back at them in order to advance this and progress it for the common man, for the good of the common man. And the fucking ignoramuses sit there and fucking sit there and prop these clowns up. They are fucking clowns, right? They've got nothing to offer. Do a bit of due diligence and actually think about it and go, where did this guy appear from? Let's have a look at the backlog and see. I'll tell you what, I'll go and fucking do it for you right now, since people are too fucking lazy, right? Here we go. Irritable bowel syndrome, Infinite Plane Society. Videos. Let's go right to the fucking bottom. Okay. 1 month ago, first video, crowdfunding the crucifixion of Lord Stephen Christ. Second video, crucifying Lord Stephen Christ. Next one, globe equals Babylon, bigger than flat earth, blah, blah, blah. Right? So nothing. And then the empty gesture, oh, I stood in front of a council board, therefore I am now the people's hero. Get to fuck. Get to fuck. Right? Well, they sit there and spew as if they're intellectuals talking about ancient societies and, oh, the Sumerians and the fucking this, that, and next thing. They don't have a fucking clue. Nobody has a fucking clue where we are, how we got here, who we are, and why it all came to be. Not fucking one of them. If any of these people are sitting there telling you anything other than that, they are liars. You better start being suspicious of them. So, fuck infinite planes, domes, fucking whatever. None of yous know it's an ongoing investigation. It should be put up there as an ongoing investigation. Right? Know this sitting with panels on Timmy Osmond and the fucking, oh, and it's a big, oh, let's go to the conference because these people are all the people who are going to sort it all out for us. Get a fucking grip. If you can't see that the both sides that they're playing out are working with each other, you're fucking lost. Totally lost. You're not doing people like me a service, right? You're fucking causing nothing but more problems and stringing it out by continuing to play to this fucking act. And that is all it is, a fucking act. Nothing real about them. So let's get into this. Oh, I used to be, if this is true, this is what I'm hearing, because I don't fucking bother with any of these people, right? But when I see these games being played, the gloves are off. Didn't mention names before. Now I'm going to directly fucking start mentioning them and draw them out to see what they've got to fucking say. 32nd degree Freemason. What age is the guy? Right? When you're a fucking Freemason, especially at that kind of level, it's favours. You don't become unemployed. You're too busy with your life getting up to other things, but all of a sudden the 32nd degree Freemason's here prominent in the flat earth. Ex-Freemason, right? All the contacts, wander the world, you know, promoted, given work, wherever you like. Oh, no, I went against that and I'm sitting here in the flat earth. Come on, you fuck people. Come on. We have seen this same regurgitation of characters over and over and over. The last lot fell by the wayside and now they had to refresh. And the same characters who were still prominent, push and promote, bum them up there, right? From absolutely nowhere. Yet there is real, genuine people who have a lot to offer, who have been about for a long time, and none of these prominent figures have pushed them up there. So you have to ask yourself why that is. Bear with me, people. 2 seconds. Right, so Marshall just told me that this character's saying, I am not a shill. Well, your fucking story doesn't add up to me, right? Now, you've got people sitting in your fucking chat, on your panel, stringing it out, talking a lot of fucking bollocks about meaningless shite. You should know what the real fucking message is. You should know if you're claiming to be that intelligent and you're 32nd degree Freemasonry fucking pish. Why are you sitting here on a wee dark corner of YouTube then? And that's the other thing. I see Eric Device here as well. You were mentioning Eric and let's call Eric out, let's get Eric to the fucking Flat Earth conference where we make money off of the choir and preaching to the choir, and let's have a wrestling match, and let's turn it into a big fucking circus. You are a fucking circus ringleader, my man. You're not buying any of your fucking bullshit, son, right? You, now you're here in the chat because you know I'm mentioning your fucking name. You've spouted the same stuff as me. You've mimicked what I've said, right? And now I'm calling you, you're here fucking running. Yet for the time you've been here and you've spouted that stuff, you don't know I exist. You've never came here before. Get to fuck, right? I can see through every fucking one of you clowns. These are not even smart, right? No smart at all. Stupid, but it's so blatant that the circus that you're putting out there, it just shows you how much you think of the real common man. And the real common man, you're fucking stupid if you let these clowns play you like that. They're trolling you. They're ripping the fucking piss. None of them are trying to instill you with the tools of critical thought. None of them are telling you the real situation of the fucking, the situation we are in right now. None of them. That's why I got involved 2 years ago, because I wanted to represent the common man and push the real truth, right? And now that it's a bit popular, you can see these fucking characters playing their games trying to bridge off it, right? To take people's attention. And then once they've got people's attention, they can fill their heads with a lot of fucking shit. So I spreading disinfo about me that I'm dead, IPA. Like, this is the whole point, and this is it. It should never, never be about persons, ever. This whole subject's about the objective reality we share, and they're claiming that they're clever, right? But they don't promote that message, right? They continually focus on personalities. Oh, this guy, that guy, and we're conference, and 200 years ago, the Masons and the fucking Jesuits, and the fuck off. Every fucking one of you, get to fuck, right? I told you before, the common man is coming back and he's not accepting any of your fucking games, right? Keep it up, just keep it up. And that's why I established myself, so that there was a platform here that could fucking point at every one of you clowns, right? The only fucking way you're going to get rid of this is by shutting me down. There is division because people, and I'll get to this in a wee minute, about people who deliberately do it and people who don't realise they're doing it and what they're actually contributing to. You know, the division is coming because all these subjective issues and topics that are coming into it, right? And focus on him and focus on her and he's a leader, she's not a leader, I want to be a leader. All this fucking crazy nonsense that got us in this mess in the first place, right? It's not about people. It's not about personalities. It's about establishing what the actual objective truth is. It's a call to the scientific community and the world at large that we need to have an investigation into this. And if you're serious about that, you better start putting real people up there who can represent it properly and know these fucking clowns. Same as the whole doxing fucking thing, right? And this drama, right? Continually I've been contacted by people or in a roundabout way, oh, we need to speak to you because we think somebody's hacked your computer and they might have information about it. Let me into your hangout and I'll make sure nobody gets sniped. No, fuck off. Give people the information they need, right? Nobody's a fucking ringleader or a saviour or a fucking hero. Share the information transparently or fuck off, right? If you want to get me about anything, contact me directly. And this is the thing, people, regardless of who you think's involved in my wee group or whatever, there's nobody involved in my wee group, it's just me. So see if you have people who are talking to you about me, representing me or claiming they're representing me or whatever, don't listen to them. See if you want to talk, come directly to me and speak to me, right? Because we've got other issues of people's egos going on that want to be ringleaders and be popular and right? And I can see it everywhere. Come straight to the horse if you want to speak. Don't let anybody represent me because they fucking don't. I'll calm down in a wee minute, right? And then I'll get to the real issues of this and what's really getting fucking on here. Just bear with me, I see what's happening here. Sorry people, just bear with me a wee second. So, if I get back to this doxing thing as well, you know, I'm going to jumble it all up and I'll keep coming back and get away, but I'm going to make sure I get the fucking point across to people here. Doxing, and I'm building a big thing up about, oh, we're going to get him and we're going to out him and are you not fucking aware that that is exactly what they need? Huh? They need people in that state of mind. Huh? Violence is a perfect excuse to jump on anybody and shut everybody down, and you're fucking playing into it. Fuck Tim Osman and what the fuck he looks like. These people are fucking irrelevant. And again, on these panels, they keep letting this fucking absolute spastic sit there with them, right? But the reason that they're letting them sit there is because they're on the fucking same team. I'm going to make a roll up here, calm myself down. 2 seconds. I'm allowed to display this passion and this amount of pissed off and anger because I have been in the fucking trenches battling with these fucking muppets for all this time. and you get somewhere, and then they rehash it, and they bring new characters in, and all the fucking gullibles go, oh, he's a fucking hero, and all the good work goes to fuck. And no wonder people walk away from this. No fucking wonder. You really need to start having a zero tolerance for this crap and these fucking idiots. You really need to. Due diligence, bad discernment, critical thought, think logically about what's going on, who are these characters, where have they came from, what message are they pushing, what are their actions, assess them and look at them before you go fucking diving in, committing to them wholeheartedly. Is that really the type of people you want representing this? If it is, you don't realise the severity of the situation you're in here. It's just a big fucking, a big circus, and I'm not really thinking about it, but it's something that's popular and I quite like to be part of it. This was all really simple, and I tried to make it as simple as I could right from the off. And I realised that, maybe people don't see my early videos. People are only seeing stuff now because of the street interviews, and that is what get popular. So maybe I'm just going to have to either re-upload some of the stuff, or I'll redo them again and do them in vlogs so that people can get the fucking tools that they require in order to see what's going on here. What you see over and over to people, look, it's about science. It's about the objective reality that we share. It's not a subjective topic, right? This isn't about a religion or any of your fantasies or my fantasies or anything like that, right? So when you know it's about the objective reality, why does anybody's personality ever come into it? Why does any of that even matter? And these groups and these characters who promote each other, right, that bumped this fucking clown up, right? What have they ever offered you? What have they ever done by way of progress? Absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing. Until people like me got up half one arse and went and started making headway. They fucking sat there and all they wanted to do was bring everybody's attention to them so they could sit there and count their views and right? Is that leaders? Is that if you need to have leaders, is that the type of leaders you want? People who sit there and focus on them and their personal dramas and their wee circles and blah blah blah? Or do you want people who want the fucking truth and justice for me, my family, you and your family, who go out there and put their fucking neck in the line to push it forward? Huh? You'll end up, this is exactly what they'll get. It'll end up pushing the real people away. You'll be left with these fucking ringleaders, these charlatans, and they will get their way. They'll move people into another paradigm. Probably something like I just fucking said. It's an infinite plane, but it's an ongoing investigation. We didn't want to tell anybody, but we've not got the technology, and it's so far away. We're going to need 50 years, and then by the time 50 years comes around, everybody's in a new paradigm and in their own new cycle, and we can start another process, right? Because they want to avoid the instant. They want to avoid all of us getting together, waking up and going, do you know what, fuck it, we're all going to look for ourselves, right? And that message, the message I have always pushed out there, has been a threat and a problem to them. That is why all these games are continuing. That's why when I put the advert up, I sat there and I went, I wonder how long it's going to take before our live's announced, right? Sure enough, there it is. 5 o'clock in the morning. Think about that rationally, people. Who gets out of their bed at 5 a.m. and instantly sets up a hangout and goes on and has guests immediately on it? Eric, if you want to come in and have a say and talk about these types of issues, then you're more than welcome. I'm going to go to the chat and see what's happening. Because apparently, anyway, I'm up Eric's arse, or you're up this one's arse, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I've made it very clear. I established myself. I stood on my own 2 feet, and so does everybody else. Eric's his own man. He stands on his own 2 feet. If we want to get together and have a chat and a conversation, that's fine. Doesn't mean to say everything's a collaboration or association, right? People need to represent themselves. Oh, sorry, Marshall, 2 seconds, man. Thought I had done it. Bear with me, people. And this is the thing, right? When I see this, they're constantly badgering to get Eric. Infinite Planes, desperate to get Eric. Because all these fucking clowns are interested in is establishing themselves, making themselves popular, a figure, a centre of attention. Infinite Plane Society, who the fuck are you to come in and demand that such and such comes and speaks to you? Fuck off! You're a fucking nobody. You've done fuck all. An empty gesture. Come and fucking explain to us what me going to my council and saying, by the way, I think NASA's fake, and somebody writing it down and putting it in a fucking filing cabinet, right? You come and tell us why that's progress or why you think you're not a prominent figure. You fucking know. And the characters that I'm seeing and the shit that you're pushing tells me everything. So you mimic the points that you know people are on board with, that's ringing true with them, and then you add in your other fucking waffle. Same as all the other fucking gatekeepers and ringleaders that have been previous and gone by, right? Get people's imagination, give them a bit of truth so that they're emotionally invested. Then you've got them, and then you can spout all your fucking shit and have them all ruin you while you just perpetuate your fucking drama and your attention. And nothing goes anywhere. Nothing ever gets resolved. There's never any progress. I see through your fucking bullshit. Marshall, how's it going?
Fair. See, there's plenty of IPS supporters in the chat attempting to troll the hell out of it.
Fuck them, right? This is what I'm saying. This is all, it'll be a setup and it'll be fucking, what do you call them? Sock accounts. As I say, go and look at the guy's fucking channel. He appeared a month ago and all your fucking ringleaders promoted him as if he was a fucking the new age messiah. So I don't give a fuck what sock accounts are trying to protect, right? I could not give a monkeys. I have no loyalty to any one of these fucking twats. Only loyalty I have is to the fucking truth. That's what's important to me. It's not important to these people. So what's going on here in the chat? I take it the fucking hornets are all circling then?
Yeah, entirely. But they're also being seen. I mean, people aren't falling for this ruse, though. I mean, yeah, there's an overwhelming support for every statement you've made so far, dude.
Well, some people are falling for it. It's either that or they're dicking the numbers and making it out that this fucking chat's more popular than he actually is. And it's not going to be a tit for tat. The fucking clown can go and make videos about me all he fucking likes. I'm calling it right now, and I'm letting people know exactly where I stand with these characters until they show me something of substance. I'm not fucking interested in them. Neither should anybody else. Look here, Darren Eric just got on IPS's hangout talking to Civil Man. No, to promote that fucking twat. It's a fucking insult to anybody who's been involved in this, especially when you get fucking dickweeds like fucking Timmy Osmond sitting on there. And then this clown's using the same fucking name only with a Z, right? When they know what this Timmy Osmond has been fucking up to along with the other fucking twats, sniping people, misrepresenting, lying, making hit piece videos, using my fucking children in his videos. I've got the right to have my kids in my videos. No, these fucking clowns. And what's it for? What is fucking any of these people going to offer? Nothing, right? We know that it's not a dichotomy of flat against globe. It's about science. It's objective. There only is one truth. So don't come here acting all innocent. You're either fucking too stupid to know the reality of the situation or you're a player. Now, I think you're a fucking player because you want to act intellectual and smart and you can recite. So if you're that fucking clever, you should know exactly what I'm saying is the truth. It's the same shite. Right from the beginning, I looked at these main characters, right? And the stuff that we're pushing. And I never once get any truth. I had to dig deep and keep pushing forward in order to get that message up here and out, right? So, fuck it if I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off because I'm fed up with people's fucking stupidity. Let's go and have a wee read and see what's going on in the chat. So, now this is it. You know, I'm seeing people talk about attacking, people getting attacked. It's a continual thing. And again, you know, I keep reiterating it to people when they're focusing on the people, the man, the personality, alarm bells should be fucking ringing in your mind. How the fuck do you expect any of the academic world or any intellectual capacity people to actually take anything seriously when people don't even know what the fucking real game is? You know? I'll repeat it once again. This question, what shape is the objective reality that we share? Objective reality that we share, right? Doesn't matter if you're 6'3", built like a tank with tattoos and a fucking skinhead, or a skinny wee fucking rodent, ginger hair with fucking knee tattoos. It doesn't matter who you're, you know, what you are. None of that matters. None of it. But they keep bringing it up as if it is relevant, and it's not relevant because nobody has the objective truth. Nobody is a perfect man or woman, right? Nobody is the fucking Messiah, the God, the ruler. Nobody. So that nonsense should just be eradicated. Very simple. And you stick to the fucking truth, right? It's a science-based question. Remove all the personality and all the other fucking crap that comes along with it and focus on that subject. Because I know that the Farady's clever enough to know it. We get that message out. We get it on a big level, a big scale. Everything else will start to crumble by itself. And all the rats and the players will be flushed out. So I started out trying to just be tactful and blah, blah. And eventually it did kind of wear me and I got to me and I showed a bit of emotion and I get involved in some certain things that I probably shouldn't have done. But fuck it, I used them to try and highlight certain behaviours and certain things that were happening, right? The emotional straining aspect that comes for me with this whole thing is this shit, right? And these characters and the attention that they're getting from people and then what they're doing with that attention. And they're not putting that attention to any use. They're sitting there in their wee fucking groups waffling one lot of fucking shit. Or the Freemasons and the 33rd degrees now. Oh, this symbol and that symbol and fucking 666 and fucking... Do just to fucking dazzle you, right? There's nothing solid. None of that stuff's going to lead you to any closure or any realisation or any progress. None of it. None whatsoever. I don't give a fuck how long they've researched or ancient civilisations or fuck. It's not their experience. They're reciting shite from books. They're looking at old buildings, bits of inanimate fucking stone, scratching their head and going, we've lost touch with all history, but I think it was the Mayans, and the Mayans came down to the Sumerian temple. And I mean, it's just all gobbledygook. If you want to be bedazzled, right, with useless information and bit parts information, away back to fucking school, because that's exactly what that was. Fill your head with bit parts information, stuff that's got fuck all to do with your practical experience, right? And then let you off out into the world like a fucking confused mess, desperately clutching and trying to cling to some sort of certainty like you know, and you've got roots and certainty about history and who you are, and it's fucking nonsense. And I'm allowed to say that because I have done the fucking work. I'm one of these people who's been in this so-called fucking truth research society. It is fucking crap, bullshit. The only thing it teaches you is that you know fuck all, right? And that I need to stop putting my attention to these things, because unless it's in my direct experience, my direct practical reality of experience, I shouldn't be entertaining it. Information is only good to me if I can take information and then I can go and reference it against practical reality. Getting a book that tells me the pyramids are somewhere, fine, there's the information. I can go and go, all right, aye, the pyramids are there. See all the other fucking bollocks it comes with, right? That's exactly what it is. Bollocks. So, and again, you know, I put my neck in the line. I display this because I want to, you know, get people into the proper states of mind. So I express myself and I rant and rave and I blah, blah, blah. Give them fuel to probably use against me. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. They can fucking use it, try and make me look whatever they like. It matters not. Again, it's just a part of them and their fucking Psyop games, right? People, that word gets bandied about Psyop, flat earths are Psyop, that's a Psyop, that's a Psyop. You need to understand what Psyop is and how it actually works. And the only reason it works is when you don't have the critical tools that you need. See, when you have the critical tools, the tools that people here are trying to put out there all the time, in order to assess and discern the reality and the information that you're getting, until you have that, you've got nothing. And anybody claiming that they're a truther, or they're invested in truth and they want the best for humanity, blah, 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 but yet they don't constantly offer you the tools. They don't constantly say, by the way, I don't know anything, I'm the same as everybody else. If they're sitting there, no, yeah, acting like a fucking celebrity, right? What does all this tell you? Do you know, in my mind, at the start, when I seen all this, I thought to myself, this is just another repeat of Alex Jones and David Icke and all these people where, we're going to have these revelations and stuff, and people are going to get this info, but these people are just going to keep coming to like the Joneses and the blah, blah, blah. So what happens? Alex Jones and David Icke, what do they get? They get notoriety, they get famous, right? Because what was taboo and suppressed is now accepted, right? But they've got these fucking characters in there who lap up the attention and the fame and the blah, blah, and it moves on like that, right? So nothing changes, nobody goes anywhere. You just have these gatekeepers keeping everybody's a focus on them, like they're going to take it forward, doesn't go anywhere. The same is true for this. They had them in here, in place, right? So that they could get people's attentions, and they keep talking about them all, the prominent flat earthers, the leaders, there isn't any leaders and prominent fucking flat earthers, right? But what it says to me is that there's a plan was already in place to wheel all this out, the flat earth, the globe lie, whatever you like, right? But at the same time, we need to keep control. We need to keep our slice of the pie that we have. So how do we need to achieve that? And as a tactician, you would go in and start thinking, right, and for me, that's exactly what's going on here, right? It's not going to be a review of the full truth. That's why you've got all this confusion amongst us. If it was just going to be a review of the full truth, it would be a lot easier than this. But it's not. They're all here to cause confusion, to wear everybody down, to the point that they will just accept whatever fucking bullshit comes their way, right? So what options are they going to have? We're either stuck in a fucking dome and there's monsters outside it and we can't go, or we're on an infinite plane, but we can't quite reach anywhere, and we need more years of investment and technology to see if we can reach these whatever's out there. I'm not going to have a heart attack, you know. Sometimes I selectively let things come out in a passionate and distaste, you know, an angry way, right? Because I need you to understand what the fucking situation is and not to take it lightly. So I'll move on just now. Doxing, load of fucking shit. Don't play into their hands, right? And all this, oh, let's get angry at fucking Osman and bring justice to this show or that fucking... Fuck them. Don't play up to it. Totally fucking ignore it. As I say, I've had these people trying to get me in hangouts because they want to tell me about somebody who said they hacked my computer and they might have information, that private information about me. None of that makes any fucking sense. Me as a man, if I think there's an issue with somebody and I'm caring about them, then I'll just go directly to them and say, by the way, I've heard this, I'm just letting you know that that's what's going on and blah, 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 just so that you're in the know. No, I've got this information for you, can you come to this hangout? And fuck off. And if you have tools and you have the know-how to prevent sniping and stuff like that, be transparent, share it with people. Not interested in doxing or hanging anybody in the street. Made it clear from the very beginning. It's a tactical game that's going on. You need to be fucking careful, okay? The tactics that I choose to employ were to be no direct, not to get involved with the personalities, to keep pushing the truth, because eventually the rats will flush themselves out, right? And that's all I'm interested in, is flushing the rats. No pointing at them, blaming them, hanging them in the street, looking for justice. You're not going to get any of that. You need to let go of that, right? You need to empower yourself so that you're dependent upon you and you're now discerning and critical on everything that's coming your way. The more and more you spread that, the more and more that people get educated in that, the easier and the better things will become. Everything will become transparent. As I say, there's certain things I don't agree with, and there's avenues that I don't go down. Everybody's free to do what they like. When it comes to guys like Eric, as I see here, the only one who promoted and jumped on activism and was keen to get it out there. I never seen it from anybody else. So I base things on action and content from people, right? This IPS guy was in an interview by another prominent flat earther, and I listened to 10 minutes of it, and it was repeating stuff that gets said here. And then the host saying, oh, you're great. What do you think we should do now? I mean, do you think we should get some activism going or blah, blah, blah? And they talk about it as if it's all their own original thoughts and ideas. Well, they never reference or message or mention anybody who is active, who has got good ideas and putting it out there and who's actually making the steps to get it done. They're not interested in that. They're only interested in making themselves look relevant and popular to try and keep your attention on them. Why? Is it maybe because this might get out into the mainstream, and you're going to have certain characters who are going to benefit from that? And again, what's going to happen? We're going to get all this out in the open, and then we're just going to get into a new paradigm with the same social dynamics and the same fucking structure that we already had. Celebrities and idols and worship and all that fucking stuff. Get to fuck. Get right to fuck, people. Come on. Monetising and all this stuff as well. I am fucking skint, right? I've been skint for a long fucking time, right? I have known something's been wrong with this place for a long time. I see the relevance and the importance of this. I would never, ever sell myself out to monetising. Doesn't matter how fucking skint I am. I don't want to ever make money off the back of truth, right? Some people might be in a position where they have to make money, they have to get by. Fine, right? I'm not going to judge their situation. But when I see people who don't need the fucking money and they still do it, and again, they promote themselves and they promote their wee cliquey fucking groups. And you have these characters, they go on about these conferences and tell it's nonsense, but yet they're gone. And now they're part of the circus. Oh, I'm coming in to wrestle such and such, and fucking get to fuck. What a joke. What a fucking joke. And if I was on the outside looking at that, that's exactly what I would think. What a fucking bunch of clowns. I think I'll set a fucking conference up here in the UK and I'll go and preach to the choir. Is anybody up for giving me £100 a fucking heed? I'll wrestle any cunt. I'll wrestle anybody, right? At a conference and waffle shite for 3 years at you and wrestle and all that stuff if you're going to pay me £100 a heed. Any summer houses going? Has anybody got a spare summer house that they could lend me? Any jobs in a hot country you want to give me? Let's just all fucking milk this for whatever we can get for ourselves. Fuck it. Fuck it. And it's such a fine line with this. And I have been victim of my own mind myself through this, where you can recognise patterns. As I say, I've referenced it before with the street interview stuff. And again, my incentive was never to be popular, right? Maybe to get people's attention for the right reasons, but not to be popular or a celebrity or any of these things. So I found myself after a while going, why am I even doing these street interviews anymore? I've done them. My main aim was to show people that the public is not what it's like online. My main aim was to show that you can engage with the public. You can use a Socratic indirect method in order to plant some seeds you know, I had it worked out and what I was trying to convey to people, and I achieved that and I done that. And then it got to the point where I'm going, do you know what? I feel as if I'm just doing this now because people like it and people are quite entertained by it. And then for me, I had to go, well, you know, that's not right. That is not right. That's not what was important. And I've had people run about me who claimed that they were for the truth and the importance, but I've watched them succumb to their ego and go on the wrong fucking road. And that's fine. That's up to them. If people want to go out and express their creative endeavours and get popular, that's fine, right? But for me, it's for the wrong reasons. The incentive is now wrong, right? Because if I've already achieved that and set that standard up, what's the point in me keep beating that same horse? There's no point. You got to look at the content and analyse the intent behind why people do these things, right? And I'm honest. I was at that point where I had the ability to realise it myself and say, no, wait a minute, I'm doing this just to appease other people so that people have got some entertainment. And I'm going, right, so that's me then wanting to just be the centre of attention, which repulses me, you know? And straight away I went, no, I wanted to pull back for that. And I made it clear, right? When I've already achieved something and I've done it, that's it. I now need to look at other avenues and how I can progress it further, right? And for me, you know, the more people that are active and put posters and doing whatever they do, fine, right? But for me personally, I can't keep doing that all the time because I'm not being true to myself or you or the truth. For me, it's how do we get it in the mainstream now? How do we keep going and approaching the mainstream medias, the science departments, the lecturers? Let's go and harass these people. Let's go to the people who can make a change, make a difference and start pestering them. All this on here is preaching to the fucking choir. Conferences, preaching to the fucking choir. I come on here sometimes when I've got something I think's relevant to say. The Saturday night thing's not for me to sit here like fucking Parkinson having everybody's attention, you know? It's to give genuine people a platform that might not have an outlet to be able to come and express and to let us know that they're there. That's my incentive behind that. That's what it's for. The minute that it stops becoming that, and I've seen the patterns happening recently with these certain characters who jump from hangouts to hangouts just to get airtime and waffle, right? That's not happening here anymore either, right? Unless I'm getting just genuine people coming through, I'm just going to stop it altogether because I'm not a fucking charlatan. I'm not a liar. I'm not here to play anybody. I'm pissed off to fuck. My whole life I had knew things weren't right. I was always questioning and now I realise it and I am pissed off. We have the right to know who we are, where we came from, where we actually are. That stuff has been removed. Things like the liberal arts have been removed for the public education, the trivium, the quadrivium, the tools, the vital tools required in order to make you a well-informed, properly educated human being. These are the issues that are really important. No dangling the same old fucking stuff in front of people. Look at the wars, look at this, look at how horrific it was, look at this. But don't worry, you know, I am a personality here who is telling you this stuff. So therefore invest your emotions and security in me because I am exposing these while I just show you all the time, but I'm never giving you any of the tools you require in order to make you stable and critical in your own being. What makes me secure? Knowing that I've got critical thinking, sound-minded individuals run about me. That's my aim and that's my goal. To end this fucking nightmare. This bewilderment and lost in fucking bewilderment. And all these people talking like fixing it and how we're going to fix it. We don't even establish fundamentals. Like, where are we? Is this where we're supposed to be? What has really been on in times gone by in previous history? You don't have a fucking clue. Mother Earth, nature, Mother Earth, all this fucking crap. What's Mother Earth and nature? You don't even know where the fuck you are. If I'm here and I'm observing this place and I'm seeing all these different races of people, right? Distinct different races of people, how the fuck does your Mother Earth, nature produce all that? What's your choices? A materialistic, naturalistic, accidental explanation of single-celled organisms multiplying and then creating all the complex life and all these different races that all evolved for one common ancestor, right? So that's your choice there. Or you've got some wee mystical god who's sitting on the outside going, ha ha ha, now I have created a black man and I will just open the wee windy hatch and I'll throw my wee black man in and shut the fucking windy hatch. Or is there some sort of genetic fucking about going on? Is there other worlds, access to other worlds, whether it be traversing physically through a porthole? I don't fucking know. How did they all end up here in your nature, Mother Earth? Because none of it fucking adds up for me. And it doesn't add up when I watch these fucking gurus trying to act like they've got some sort of clue just because they can articulate and recite and repeat and they can say it with a certain voice and they don't rant and rave like me. Doesn't give them any more fucking sway to what they're saying being true. What I'm saying is true, although I'm fucking ranting and raving. It's what I'm saying that's important. And you hear people, there's bigger things than flat earth. Aye, there is. No, the fucking nonsense that's going on in the social circles and the social dynamics. There's bigger things going on in regards to where are we actually, what has actually went on previously, how did we all end up here, where did the diversity arrive from, and why is there distinct races of people, and then logically deduce and discuss with each other and figure out, and you can come to a fucking, like I have done, and I was honest with myself. I wanted to know the truth. As I say, I went down every avenue. The materialistic evolutionist Big Bang avenue doesn't make any fucking sense. There is zero practical example to show for it. It's fucking nonsense. It's a fairy tale. And so is some mystical god sitting on the outside of the dome or in the fourth dimension carving out Asian guys. Oh, and I'll open my wee hatch and I'll throw my Asian guy in now and shut the fucking window. I mean, it just shows how limited the human's capacity for contemplation and to think actually, is at this moment in time. It's fucking ridiculous. And we still see these people pushing out the religious fucking crap and my book. Fuck books. Fuck them all. Wake the fuck up. I'm going to roll a wee fag right now. Marshall, what's happening?
A very busy chat, mate. I'm having trouble keeping up with it. I don't know whether Eric got the mess. I dropped it in there. Eric, if you want to pop on and address any of these issues about IPS, mate, I can link you in.
It's no pressure on anybody. If the offer was just there, totally understand, especially with the stuff that I'm fucking saying. But fuck it, as I said before, the gloves are off and I don't give a fuck, right? I don't know how much time I've got or whatever, but I am determined to get this fucking shit over and done with, right? And I ain't fucking going anywhere. They can try whatever tactic they like. You can mimic and try and sway people all you fucking like. I'm going to continue to sit here and call it every time. And people don't even consider. I mean, it's the same for me. You just look at these people as if in your minds that they're celebrities and they've got these fantastical lives. I'm just a real guy. You can look at Eric, whatever. I mean, think about it. Think about all this nonsense and the emotional baggage and the stuff that people actually have to deal with. All that shit that's thrown at them. And it's unjust. It shouldn't be happening, and you shouldn't be encouraging it or contributing it to any way whatsoever. It shouldn't even come into it whether you like somebody or whether you don't like them. It's about the objective truth. Again, it's just part of the mess. This deliberate removal of these educational tools that we require, that has left people in this emotion-based, impulsive fucking nonsense. It's a fucking mess, honestly. So one of the other titles, we'll get to mind, body in a minute, and intent. As I say, I always look at people's intent and I can see it in their content. As I say, I had to address my own content. And when I thought, what, I'm really not doing this a service anymore. I'm doing it for the wrong fucking reasons. My intent was pure. And I went out and I pushed that. Then there comes a point in people's journey where their intent flips. It's either they don't want to admit it or they're just quite happy to ignore it. Where it flips from being a pure intent to, do you know what, I'm quite happy with my wee bit of attention that I'm getting and I just want to perpetuate my attention. Where is it going to get you? Just getting attention. It's not going to get you anywhere unless your attention is for the right reasons. The attention I want to garner now is from fucking mainstream media. These fucking cunts who sit there in these offices doing fuck all but perpetuating the same crap in people's lives over and over again. These fuckers that call themselves journalists, these are the cunts now who need to be held to account, who need to be called to action, right? To report it fairly and properly, to report it as scientific and a discussion, and that there's people who are calling for an investigation to be brought. That's where we need to go. And if you've got groups of people who do get attention, the question then comes, do you trust them to represent the truth properly if they get access to mainstream media, radio, TV, newspapers? Right? That's my worry. So I'm going to take a wee break just from going on about this till I get my thoughts back, and I'm going to go to chat and see what people are saying. I'll just start here where I'm a Huxley Pig 69. Buoyancy is water, as a water thing. How does that work out of water? Why does helium fucking rise? Fuck off. John Lawson Law, yes, he was saying that earlier. Eric Dubai, I missed what's been said here. Meryl Beauregard, Eric Dubai, give Dale some backup and support. Look, it's not about backup and support. It's again, I'm inviting people just for them to express what they want to express. I support me, and I always have done. There wasn't anybody there at the beginning, in the lonely days, and the battle that ensued in order to get the platform to where it is just now. You know? Support the truth. Support each other by representing the fucking truth. Not by trying to save each other and control each other. Maybe Jesus loves you, IPS places sexes and people he doesn't like. Whatever. RJ, Dale, play a few riffs, brother, get rid of some stress. This is where I get rid of my stress. You know, things annoy me and they build up, and my outlet for this is to share it with people, right? But at the same time, you know, it's not just mindless fucking shouting and bawling, as some people will try and make it out to be. You have to listen to what I'm actually saying. And again, if you don't understand, don't take it from somebody else. If you want to understand what I'm saying, come and speak directly to me. If there's anybody out there that you've spoken to who's represented me or spoke to you about me or represented me in any way, they don't have any authority to do so, and I've never granted them any authority to do so. So come and speak to me directly, and I'd appreciate it if you're truthful, that you let me know that there is people who are doing that, trying to become ringleaders and get in the road and get everybody's fucking contacts and I'm the main man and all this stuff. Twisted Rizia, Eric Dubai, that's not true. He asked if you were dead because you hadn't been around for some time. He did not claim you were dead. Why is it even a focus issue? That's the point you're missing. Why is somebody else focusing on another personality and bringing it as a drama? Whereas you, Eric Dubai, I'm starting a new channel called IPS Notepad. It will have no content but scribbles. Made it sea level. It makes me laugh all day, every day, although sometimes it is cry laughing. Dave Poole keeping it real, Dale and Eric, too many keyboard and hangout fantasies to keep people delusional. Yeah. And again, you know, my whole point is, you know, people have different subjects. There's different subjects that interest me, that I have questions about, that I know are not true, things that I've been told. And I know a lot of that stuff, right? But I don't bring it on here. I try and stick purely to that subject, that singular subject, you know. Certain subjects are relevant to it, but I'm always going to keep bringing it back to the first point. Why are we here? What's the question? What is this whole thing? What's the shape of the objective reality we all share? What are the full dimensions, right? What's went on within it have already went on within it, and things that are here within it have always been here and are already within it. None of that is important to me right now. It's where is all that content and where are we? You know, what is it within? Sorry, were you saying something to me, mate? I hear things there. Stay Clint, everyone just every week go with banners to all TV station headquarters and MSM, Fleet Street and Mass. Exactly. Now, instead of fucking conferences, that stuff like that is what gets you the attention, was what takes it forward. Right? Making a noise in the right way, respectful, mannered, non-aggressive. Right? Misdirecting information away from Vatican, Jesuits and Rome, and solely focusing on their merchants, the crypto Jew Zionists. And I've said this many times before, for me, a certain type of mind that has invested interests and common interests will band together. They will infiltrate any fucking robe, hide behind any movement, face, company, art, whatever you like, right? So for me, it's not about one group of people. That's a logical fallacy, you know? It's a type of mind, and it's how to identify that type of mind, right? Now, they knew they would be identified and flushed. That is why 300 years ago, they removed from the curriculum, the education system, the liberal arts, grammar, rhetoric, logic, all that stuff, the quadrivium, the trivium. Check it out, understand it, and then you will see the game a bit clearer, right? So when they remove that and they have people operating on an emotional level and on emotional impulse, they can throw up any devil for people to get their aggression and angst out to point at. Well, that same type of mind continues about its business, achieving what it wants to achieve. If I go into a situation, say, and we're looking for a manipulative, lying, narcissistic type personality, and I go in there and every single one of them is wearing a different football strip, or let's say they're all wearing the same football strip, right? And I'm hearing people going, it's the Celtic fans or the Rangers fans or whatever team you want to fucking, you know, use, right? I don't just go, oh well, they're all wearing that colour of jumper, therefore that's them, I found them, let's hang them on the street, burn them all, it's them that wear that. No, I need to be smarter than that, a bit more fucking clever, and I find ways to identify them and flush them, right? Not just condemn the whole fucking lot. Remember, there are so many innocent people in this world who are contributing to these divisions and these institutions and perpetuating it, not because they're doing it deliberately, just because that's where they are in their insecurity and grasping at certainty. And it's not right for us to be generalising and pointing at any one group. Right? If you want to point at a group, identify them by the mental processes, the actions, what they push. Are they trying to enlighten and empower and stabilise you, or are they trying to do the fucking opposite? Right? And for me, it's about identifying the minds that want to do the opposite. And I'm not going to get anywhere by just listening to some fucking guru online telling me that it's this, that, or the other. So what else have I get through? Mind, body. Again, we're back to these religious aspects. Mind, body, what it actually means. And it all comes down to people being scared of fucking dying. Again, another sign of the confusion and bewilderment, because our true origins and history have been removed and lost. So people don't know where they are, don't know what life's about. It's a scary fucking place. It's full of confusion and trauma. Right? So then you get charlatans who come along that want to appease that insecurity and play upon it. They'll offer you a nice wee fluffy story and they'll put it out there, and some people will jump on it and then they can make what they want from that. Some people won't jump to it. They'll choose another fluffy delusion to satisfy their angst. So the mind-body stuff, and it all comes down to, what are we? Are we food for some higher fucking energy being? Are we purely a technology, an experiment that has somehow, achieved self-awareness? Are we eternal souls occupying a physical machine? That's mind-body philosophy. There's so many bright people who have been involved in that, not just religions, right? And again, that whole question changes and becomes something different, and it should open your mind to new possibility and new thought when you realise that, when you're in a situation of materialistic, naturalistic physicalism, which would say Big Bang, chemical chance, randomness, consciousness is an illusion, a coping mechanism for higher brain function, all that stuff. Sorry, I just get distracted there. When you realise that type of explanation has absolutely no fucking merit whatsoever, that in itself. And again, when I was involved in these types of things, when you pointed out that people who took that stance were actually religious, they didn't like it, because people think that, if you follow physicalism or materialism, that you're not religious, because you're removing a god or a creator. A god or a creator doesn't just mean religion. That's not what religion is. It's having a worldview, employing symbols and phrases and sacred texts, and there's so many aspects of what makes up a religion. Right? A worldview, i.e. a story that proclaims to have the objective truth, right, is a religion. So materialism, physicalism, all that, reductionism, that's, for me, it's religious. Right? There is zero practical example of that either. So when you then realise that the globe and the heliocentric spinny ball fantasy of fucking nothing chanceness goes, it leaves you with nothing else but intelligent design and intention and mind being, fundamental to reality. So that then takes you in avenues of thought and contemplation, right? Which I am willing to discuss. And these are subjects I'm still passionate about and willing to discuss. People still come at me thinking I'm shutting people down. I don't want them to have their say. No, I shut people down when they come at me telling me that that's the truth, right? They're subjective, whatever. And then when you want to question it or have dialogue about it and they don't like it, I'm not interested then. If you want to come here claiming or want to talk philosophy about mind, body, or whatever, then it has to be a discussion. And through, again, using the Socratic method, because I try not to make any claims about any of these objective truths, right? I simply have questions. And by looking at all these different religions and gurus and whatever, spirituality, I question it until I find contradictions, things that don't add up, right? And then I can move on, knowing that it's a fucking nonsense. Marshall, I need to run to the toilet, mate. I'll be 2 minutes if you want to just be in that uncomfortable position.
Yeah, sure do. That's my job. Right, peeps. I'm getting some mail come through that's not directly related to the broadcast we're doing now. I'll have a chance to reply to that once we're finished here. So, thanks for mailing in. IPS, as soon as Doe returns, I'll ask him whether he wants your company or not. We can only speculate as to the motivations there, can't we? And I'm pleased to see people speaking up for themselves, and that's one thing I will say, because it's been a long time where we've watched the majority of people really not feel confident enough to speak their mind, and I can see in the chat box now that that's actually happening. So fucking props to all you dudes. See, we've still got a few low-level trolls kicking around here. You're not that effective, people. Just find something better to do, man. Well, I'm almost dead here, man, because I didn't come prepared with a script. Yeah, I think you're right there, Freight. But I mean, there's the choice is Dale's as to who he wants to company up today.
Right, I'm back.
Dale, we got a request from IPS in chat. Can he join?
Just let me finish here. Give me 5 minutes. Hang on it.
Right. Okay. Well, if I just preface that by saying, IPS, if you want to join, you need to send a mail to nocurve@gmx.com. All right, Dale, clear.
And this again, calling out names like Eric's and demanding that he comes and answers your questions and blah 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 blah. Then that raises suspicions to me again. Is it because he has a sway, and that the sway isn't with your invested interests? What does it fucking matter what Eric or anybody else is doing? It's about the content, it's about the truth. I'm calling it because I'm deeply suspicious about certain characters who are brought in from nowhere, right? And I sit and I listen, right? And I hear mimicking going on, but no props. You don't come here. But all of a sudden, no, because I'm shouting about it, you're coming. What do you want? Exposure? You want to use my platform now to be heard by a wider audience? Fuck it, Marshall, send a link.
I think IPS has seen us enough times to know that he needs to send a mail to nocurve@gmx.com. And I'll happily send a link forward to, although people in chat are already suspicious about his motivations. Just a personal response there. Forbidden dude. No, I don't have any. Well, some of my videos have got the synth backing track, so you go check that out if you like. I keep meaning to do something about it, but obviously this has to take priority.
And this whole thing about shills, there's a lot of paranoia in this and distrust. And again, it comes down to the severity and the size and the scale of this whole thing actually means and the implications of it. So again, we don't have any government agency involvement in this anywhere. Fuck off, right? So for me, it's how do we identify that? How do we flush it out, right? And as I've been saying continually, it's about the objective truth, not about personalities. So if you want to find out who the players are, either willingly or unwillingly, just because of their naivety and their stupidity, look at what their content is.
Okay, that's link out to IPS, also known as Tim Ozman. So, yeah, I know, dude.
To shift to live and let live would be fucking great. That's where all our problems stem from, is because one person's trying to control another fucking person. Live and let live would be fucking great. Live and let live is the definition of Levian Satanism. Although that title's pumped out there as something demonic and nasty and bad, when really it's just a golden rule. It's fucking common sense. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. You mind your own business. If you stick your nose in it, gets fucking snipped. End of story. Unless somebody's directly imposing upon your fucking free will.
Okay, we got a guest in, dude. IPS. I don't know what your name is. I flatly refuse to call you Tim, but you're muted at the moment, dude. By the way.
Okay, there we go. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Cool.
I was gonna answer a few questions about specifically Freemasonry, because people think that just because you've been involved with it before, you're like a murderer and an assassin and a backstabbing, killing, conniving person. It's like that's not the case.
Can I ask
Masons don't kill each other.
Can I ask some questions? When did you get involved?
Yes.
When did you get involved in this whole thing?
In the whole flat Earth mess in June of 2015.
So when did you actually start getting active and making videos and content?
I started making videos probably about in like October, November, but that was mostly about the election.
Well, on that channel, the same channel you have now?
Well, actually, yes, same channel I have now. That's correct.
I went and checked your backlog, and it only goes to 1 month ago.
It goes a month ago because I had a number of videos, which I deleted most of my videos up until about a month ago.
So a month ago you've appeared, and for me it looks as if you've garnered some serious attention and some certain people have promoted you. So I'm trying to establish what it is you've actually done to get that kind of attention. Could you enlighten me?
Oh, I see what you mean. Because in a short amount, is this like subscribers. I just got 5,000, and it's been
5,000 a month.
Video.
5,000
in a few months.
That's incredible.
Is that fast?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to establish how you would get 5,000 subscribers and this type of notoriety within a month. I'm trying to pinpoint, exactly what it was that you offered, or the revelation that you brought forward, or the progress that you made in order to garner that type of attention. So if you could clarify that for me, that would help me.
Okay, that's a fair question. Yeah, what would cause my particular content to get that kind of attention and get me? I would say it had to do with the consistency of it, because I was doing 2 or 3, 5 or 10-minute videos a day for about a month straight. And I was noticing that the more content consistently put up, and I was interacting in the comments a lot, I think that accounted for most of it. The only other thing that really separates my video content from others is probably I had some pretty strong opinions about biblical flat earth, which I considered biblical flat earth, the idea of the dome being Jehovah's creation to confine us here. I think that's a New World Order ploy.
But that's nothing new, and there's people who've been shouting about that for a long time. I'm trying to pinpoint exactly what it was, and I'll tell you what I think. Right? For me, it was the empty gesture of going to the council and logging your thing where you said NASA are fake, or there's reason to believe NASA is fake, and that get promoted and lauded as if it was some sort of massive achievement, and you were promoted on various channels. So what I'm looking at that and saying, well, what's actually in that? Nothing. Where did it go? Did you get any recourse? Did anything come about from it? Did it progress in any way? Are you still on it?
I would say if you look at the number of people who were exposed to that topic who hadn't been before, maybe that's progress. I don't think it's a huge deal, except that it might encourage others to do the same thing. And that's what it is. It's just showing you how easy it is to go seize a mic and get something on the record about this malfeasance that is ripping us all off, this parasitic thing that we're paying for, the propaganda that brainwashes our kids. And so I thought, what's wrong with making a statement about it? But I think what was even impactful as far as getting my subs up was Flat Earth Day, as in using Earth Day as an excuse to go talk to globies on the street who are marching for scientism about flat Earth. And it wasn't just me. By organizing this, by talking about it, 14 people in different cities who went around, and most of them engaged people in conversations, and they posted their videos up. I was in a place where it wasn't a march. It was just a big auditorium. So I went in with a megaphone and I said, you've all been deceived. You're brainwashing your kids. You're not marching for science.
Is that one video?
Yeah, it's on my channel. And then I flipped the sign, which said global warming is fake. And then I flipped it and it said Earth is flat. And I said Happy Flat Earth Day to these people as I walked out. And that, I know it's not going to change any minds, but I made the point before that this is a symbolic action. This is the action to say, look, this is not a consensus. These brainwashed sheep do not speak for all of us. We do not all agree that the world is a globe and that it's overheating because of internal combustion engines, and we all therefore need to submit to big government. So I was there to break the consensus. And as far as the other content creators in other cities who did the same thing, they were more about Socratic method, like Eric Dubay suggested in his video on activism. He said, don't scare them, don't shock them. Socratic method, ask questions.
Socratic method that I employed, the Socratic method that I went out and achieved and established. Is that what you're talking about? So I take it you didn't know about any of the activism or any of the stuff that was going on over this neck of the woods, no?
Oh no, I certainly do. In fact, you're the channel I think that is most known for going out and speaking to people. And
yeah, but that's the problem. That's where I get my suspicions and my doubts, because I know how hard and how long I had to work and push forward to get anywhere. And I look at people's sub counts and the views and the people that promote them, and that never went on for anybody else, but it went on for you. So what I'm trying to establish is what makes you so special and what it is you have actually done and what you're intending to offer people that garners that type of support and attention. And the other,
you know what, it could also be I've been specifically reaching out to artists and writers, because in July I rented out an art gallery. Do is have artists from around and across this plane sending their art in, and I'm doing an art show involving, hopefully, if even half of them submit the work, it'll be great. But so far 56 people have sent me what they want to send me, and then I'm working on a news aggregator for Flat Earth News, a dozen bloggers and writers who want to contribute to that on the weekly. And this will be a news aggregator analogous to like the Drudge Report, but it'll have a weekly print on demand option. So
there's loads of people and stuff like that. But I really don't see where the progress is in any of that, because for me that's not instilling people with the tools that they require. For me that's just
do you not think that the blogosphere,
milking people's attention for your own benefit is what it says to me.
For my benefit.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to the root here. What are you offering people? What is your whole goal? What you trying to benefit people in what aspect?
Well, the problem we have here is that the world is flat, and we're being lied to by the government, the media. We're being lied to by the education. The kids are being indoctrinated. We were indoctrinated, and I see that as a big fat problem. And attendant with that is the growth of world government, the growth of big state with environmentalism as a cornerstone. It's a seizure property. It's a destruction of the private economy for big government. And I'm saying that this flat Earth thing isn't just about geography. It's about a big mind control system that's getting bigger, and they're trying to push the next generation into an alternative universe where they believe they're on a multi-planetary civilization because of high-tech CGI. And I think that's fucked up.
Right,
and
so
I want to stop it.
And how are you going to stop that? So you think you're some sort of savior then? So how are you going to stop that?
The way you are. You talk about it, and you get people to think for themselves and recognize they've been lied to. And so I recognize, like you do, that you don't just do it online, that this is an echo chamber, and you know it. You get more impact when you're outside in the street talking to people, and that's going to happen. But the conversation, the lexicon, the ideas need to be spread before people are even receptive to it. Because when they think flat Earth, they think that idiot flat Earth society, that fake group, and then they get the caricatures. Flat Earthers are dumb, they're uneducated, they're trailer park trash. But now, the
listen,
flat Earth movement.
I sat and watched you with the characters talking about fucking wrestling matches and fucking conferences and all this fucking stuff, and you think that's going to do a service or a justice?
Say again?
I'm saying you're sitting there with characters talking about wrestling matches and their beefs with each other. You've got guys like Timmy Osmond on, who's a known, for me, criminal in his behaviour and the stuff that he's got up to, right? And you're promoting him, giving him a fucking platform, letting him fucking speak and be heard by people, right? For me, that does nothing but cause confusion, right? And this constant promotion of two sides of the fence, this is about objective truth. There is no two sides of the fence. There is no a false dichotomy. That us against them, right? And if you want to empower people, giving them the tools of critical thought and proper education is what will solve it. No a fucking internet hero or some messiah that's going to fix it all for us. That doesn't wash with me, my man.
Well, as far as that person goes, I see him as a victim of this mind control deception on such a deep level that he's a good specimen, and I see no reason to exclude somebody from the debate because they disagree with you. Those are the ones you need to listen to so you can understand what the average person thinks, so you can understand how to undo the mind fuckery that went into creating them.
I know what they think. I speak to the average person. I don't look at fucking guys like Timmy Osmond as any representative of any people, because he's a dishonest liar, right? Reality denying crackpot is what that guy is, right? And
well, you know what? How would you know?
All he's going to do is cause confusion with people because he's making it about globe belief or flat belief, and that's not the case. It's a question for science. It's what's the objective truth. There is no two sides, but you keep avoiding that.
Well, I do think it's useful at certain times to illustrate the enemy side, the opponent's side, the opposite side, and understand their arguments so you can refute them better and poke holes in it. And if you don't give them a platform, then you don't have any communication.
If I had a platform, I've been here for a long time and opened it up to everybody. And we went through the same cycles of these people regurgitating, showing their dishonesty, sniping hangouts, talking over the top, being ignorant, being ill-mannered. So,
well, we'll see, because I'm thinking
that doesn't make any sense.
I'm thinking if we treat them like human beings,
a representation of how real people think, because I already know the subject, so I don't need fucking Timmy Osmond as a fucking reference. I know the subject. I go to the street and I meet real people, and then I get a real gauge of how real people react and how their mind's working. So,
well, it's good to study the worst. No, he's the worst case. Look, if you can crack a nut like Tim Osman, you can crack anybody. You can get through to anybody. And I've diagnosed the guy. I can tell you why he can't see it. I can tell you why he can't see it. You're
an internet savior. You're a messiah, and now you can read into Timmy Osmond's psychology, and you know everything about him, and you know what's going to crack him.
Like he's that complicated.
Is that what you're telling me?
Like he's that complicated. I know how he operates, but I'm saying by having him on the channel, instead of having him snipe, by letting him speak and hearing his points, I know now what his arguments are, and I can see where the holes are, and I can tell you in my honest assessment.
Why do you need it for Timmy Osmond? If you're so educated in it, why do you need it for Timmy Osmond? You already know what he's going to bring you.
But I've never given him a fair hearing. I've always heard he's such a bad person. He's been an ass, as you've seen. And so I'm like, okay, well, today I'm going to open the channel up and get him on. Just end it. Let's have a conversation.
Doesn't make any sense to me, man. You can kid people on all you like, but you're not fucking kidding me on, right? None of what you're saying is making any sense whatsoever, right? Your Freemasonry thing, are you a Freemason? You used to be a Freemason.
Yeah, and what do you think about that? Like, do you think that all Freemasons are the the same, or they're all murderers or killers or something? What's your deal?
I don't use logical fallacies and generalise like that. I've made it quite clear. It's about identifying a type of mind for me. Right? They'll hide behind any group. Right? So there's profile goes on. If you need to identify a certain type of mind to get your work in progress, you need that type of mind, and you will have a profile mechanism for it. So as far as I'm aware, is your claim that you're a 32nd degree Freemason, or you used to be?
Yeah, I used to be a Freemason, but then I used to be other things too. I mean, it wasn't the only.
Let's stick to that. Is your claim that you used to be a Freemason?
Yeah, like I don't associate with anymore.
What degree?
32.
So how long does the process take before you get to 32nd degree Freemasonry? What age are you, sorry?
You're asking my age?
Yeah.
I was on a spinning ball for 33 years.
So you're 33.
No, I was on a spinning ball for 33. I'm just messing with you, man. No, listen, I can tell you, but I would rather not have people go to the lodge. I would rather not have people call around.
I want to know about your lodge. I want to know about your...
Because I don't associate with these. Well, you know why? Here's what I came out of it with. It's a lot of status symbols. It's a lot of boring old retired people, and it's a lot of
what, a 32nd degree?
All of it. Honestly, to a point, it's not. It wasn't what I was looking for.
Right.
And I'm not into the whole Judeo-Christian thing, and the whole Blue Lodge. It's all Judaism. I don't like this notion of. I don't really like all the Old Testament nomenclature. Doesn't really fit my worldview. I don't like the character of the Bible. I don't accept the account of the Bible as the account of the Creator.
So you gave up all the contacts, the work, the life you could have, endless amounts of work. You gave all that up. You've walked away. You've washed your hands of it. Have you revealed any of the secrets or any of the internal stuffs?
Sure.
Where is that on your site?
Ask me anything.
Is it on your page?
No, I mean, ask me. I'm not like a Masonic exposer guy publishing their boring ass secrets. But if you want to know about it, ask me anything.
It's not just boring ass secrets, because like every other organisation that have been used as a vehicle to get things done. So trying to portray it as just boring old men and they don't really get up to it, and is utter crap.
Well, I think that Masons get too much attention. I think that that it's like it's a scapegoat. Like we have to look at NASA itself as a quasi-Masonic organization. NASA is not. It's not a group of scientists. It's a Masonic order, but it was shat out of the bowels of the Vatican. They're basically Jesuit agents. That's what NASA is. NASA is out of the Vatican. It's a quasi-Masonic order, and that.
There you go again. I'm going to cut you because this is the disinfo shit, right? Where you keep people in perpetual fucking nonsense, right? Because it's not just about Jesuits, Freemasons, or this group or that group, where there's many innocent people involved in it. It's a type of mind. You have to be in a certain type of mindset to perpetuate, to keep people in ignorance, to keep them in suffering, to lie to them.
You got it. You've read the initiation oaths, right? And I would recommend that everyone read the initiation oaths for the Knights of Columbus, the Jesuits, the Masons. Read them all, because it gives you an indication of the character of the organization when the people in the organization are swearing to keep everything from within the lodge from ever reaching the eyes and ears of those outside. They see you as in the dark. You're outside. You're profane. You're ignorant. You're wandering in the darkness, and you're supposed to remain that way.
Well, that's the same. That's the same as many hierarchical structures. I can go into any organisation or thing with it, and there's innocent, nice people there at the bottom who don't know what's going on at the top and what they're contributing to. So again, it comes back to the type of mind who wants to perpetuate it, rather than just pointing at one group of people.
No, I don't point at one group, and that's been my problem all along with some of these other channels. I don't think they focus enough on the bigger picture. So, for example, the Jews are the big problem in the world. I don't think the synagogue of Satan runs the thing, and if we got rid of all the Jews tomorrow, everything would be perfect.
So you're a religious guy then?
I'm not a religious person. I think religion is malware for the mind. I think it's inherently evil, and it's designed to stultify us spiritually and intellectually.
So you believe in some sort of...
I think religion is...
You believe in some sort of...
Yeah, I believe in a creator, but not a savior, because we don't need a savior, because there's no reason to be saved. Nor do we have a carbon footprint, nor do we have to worry about the planet overheating from man's activities. These are mind control operations they use on us, where they convince you that you are born a tumor on the world, and that the world itself is a very...
So how would you equip people and to make it better then? What do you think needs
I don't think religion makes it better.
How are we going to make it better and get out of it? What are you going to equip people with to make it better?
Say again? Oh, to make it better? Well,
Yeah.
I think it's going to require a rediscovery of the importance of the scientific method being separated from scientism, government-sponsored scientists, government-owned scientists, and I think people need to disabuse themselves of this idea that they need to rely on experts to tell them what to see and think, because they're told what to perceive. They're told by experts, oh, well, you don't have the sophistication to know if the moon landing was faked, so just trust the experts. And I'm saying no.
So how do you
The only way we get out of this is by, go ahead.
How do you go about getting people to that state of mind then?
Well, you expose the deceptions and show them how they were tricked. And that really does it. For me, for example, I was aware that Sandy Hook was shady. I thought it was a false flag. But then people exposed details about it, and I started to learn, wait, there's a bigger picture. I went down this.
That's fine.
And so when I learned about crisis actors, suddenly my perception expanded.
You show people,
and so after,
you show people that you've been lied to in whatever situation or example you want to offer them. That still doesn't fix the problem, does it?
I muted the guy, dude, because he's failing to understand the courtesy that needs to be extended.
To be honest with you, a wee bit, I'm kind of butting in as well. So part of that's my problem as well, because I'm interrupting, just to be fair. So the whole point, if you can unmute, I don't know how you unmute this.
Well, you have to do it himself.
That's my whole point, Tim, or whatever your name is. It's fine. We have had people pointing at lies for fucking generations, hundreds of years, right? That doesn't fix it. You're just showing them already what is. You have to get people to a point of being able to discern how their mind works, how they work, and then they can discern and analyse the world that they're living in. For me, it's about empowering the individual. Now, showing them everything that's already went on. Fair enough, if you can show somebody they have been lied to, might be enough to make them wake up and look at something. But to continually just act like I'm some sort of saviour and I'm showing you all these lies that everybody knows anyway, doesn't help people in any way. Does not help them whatsoever. Teaching them things about the liberal arts and why they were removed would maybe help people. And then to be calling to have these things reinstated, would you not think that would be progress?
Oh, absolutely it would.
So that's my point.
I mean, listen, when people are exposed, like, let me ask this: do you still watch movies and TV, mainstream news? Obviously not. So what is filling your time? What filled in that void once you learned it was all BS, once it was untrustworthy?
Well, I've never been that
like what I'm saying is, like, part of this thing is, like, when people see psyops, they no longer trust the media. Like, I can no longer watch Fox News unless it's opposition research. I know how controlled things like Alex Jones are. So now, instead of investing my time into known deceivers, into the deception, instead of paying to be deceived, I invest my time and energy into reorienting myself with reality. And I think that's what happens generally. As people wake up, they fill in that void with a search for the truth. Once they figured out that they don't have the truth, is disabusing them of the illusion that they had the truth, that they were told the truth. And that precipitates the awakening. I'm not a savior. I'm not about preaching or pulling anybody through this thing. I'm just like, hey, dinosaurs are fake. Think about that. Satellites aren't there.
And a lot of these are, for me, it's important for people to realise that we need to let go of any of these mind viruses and base things on practical experience to be empowered. And that's, for me, where the progress would happen, right? So people can portray themselves whatever way they like. For me, if I don't see that and steps towards people trying to empower people and give them exactly what they need without having some internet guru or fucking idol having to tell them, oh, you're being lied to in this aspect, that's never going to fix anything. What's going to happen after another couple of generations? Nothing. People are not going to be any different.
I don't think we have that long. Like, I don't think we have generations. I think if this big deception isn't exposed now, like in the next year, they will win and they will control the dominant paradigm, and future generations will think they're in a multi-planetary civilization designed by Elon Musk.
So you think,
but they will be an alternative universe and there will be no escape.
You think that they're not deliberately letting any of this out and that they are trying to cover it up? That's what you think that's what's going on here?
Yeah, I think we have a limited time frame because they're obviously going to dig us in deeper into a trench.
So you don't. They already are. So you don't think that they're going to reveal the lie and their deception, but then come out with some excuse for why they've done so?
Well, I've considered that. I've considered that maybe they might try to negotiate in the sense like, yeah, we faked the moon landing, but everything else is real. Like most psychopaths, they don't come clean when you reveal a lie. Right. They just pile more lies on and try to build on what they can still build on. So I don't expect them to come clean at all.
You've just said about a certain type of mind. You can call them psychopaths, whatever you like. That, for me, is where the problem is, and that's what the enemy is. Doesn't matter what robe they're wearing. Doesn't
calling
matter.
A psychopath a psychopath?
What's that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. We're dealing with a psychopathic system, whatever you want to call it. Globalism, environmentalism, the system of, okay, here's an example. When you tell people that Jesus is coming, that there's going to be an Armageddon, an apocalypse, get ready, don't be one of the sinners, that to me is psychological abuse because it's not going to happen. It's a lie. Doomsday prophecies are lies that governments use to control people. Same with global warming. And I'm saying that the people who push those lies are behaving psychopathically. Al Gore is a psychopath. Any hellfire and brimstone preacher is a psychopath by all definitions.
So you made a reference to, satanic or whatever, or I'm trying to gauge where you are. You obviously think there's an adversary, some sort of evildoer type being.
Yeah, there is. This planet is run by a bunch of pedophiles and slave owners and sick fucks. Absolutely.
That culminates into one being that's at the root of it all. Is that what you think?
What was that part again?
And that they all culminate under one umbrella of one type of mind, a devil, Satan, whatever you want to call him. You think there's some sort of entity like that at the root of this?
No, actually, at the root of it, I don't think it's an entity. I think it's what I call it a psychopathic system. It's like the Wizard of Oz, meaning it's a bunch of old men behind curtains who know how to push the buttons and pull the levers to make this big thing appear real, but it's a big bluff. Behind it all is not an evil presence. It's not a devil. It's not a Satan. It's human nature. It's ugly, evil, psychopathic elite who have found ways to deify themselves for all intents and purposes. There should be no divine right to rule. There should be no royal bloods. That's a big hoax. Royal bloodlines are a hoax, and people fall for it.
Well, that's my point. Unless people are re-educated properly, they're never going to be able to recognise those types of minds because they're operating from an emotional level rather than a logical, critical level.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's my point. For me, that's what I'm looking for from people, is to instill and give people the power, not an individual or one group.
No, I think you're right. I'm glad to hear you say that because, like I'm saying, it's not some evil group or tribe or family. It's the structure that makes it possible for them to rule. So the problem to me isn't necessarily flat versus sphere. It's the entire infrastructure that would allow such a massive deception to be possible. And the only way we get rid of this, it's an intellectual revolution. It's not like we're going to take up arms. It's an intellectual revolution.
It's funny because one of the things that gets my suspicions aroused is that you say these things, and it's things that I have been saying for a long time, but you've never once came here and had any dialogue or discussion or reached out in any way. But I hear you talking like that all the time, and I resonate with it because I know that that's what I say. So,
I have been.
What's that?
I have been reaching out. In fact, a number of people lots of people tell me, check out Beyond the Imaginary Curve. And I have. I've absolutely been going to people's channels and talking, but I haven't made the rounds. Like tonight, I'm on Jaron's show at Truth Frequency Radio at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Friday, I was on Patricia Steer's show. I've spoken with Globe Busters. I've spoken with Unsealed Truth Project, John Humanity, and a few others. I do go around and I talk to people, and I have been making an effort. And what do you think this art show thing is? Look, I've got almost 60 people willing to send art to this show that I've already paid for. You don't think that's reaching out to people? And I'm trying to start dialogues and conversations. It's not for me to sell my art. It's for me to get a ton of people into the room to talk about flat earth art. And most of the people that are going to be there will never have even confronted the subject in their life. So their first time confronting flat earth will be in a room full of artwork. There will be memes, posters, whatever people send me. And then we're going to have an actual discussion panel where people are going to be having a conversation, which will be streamed live. And so to say I would say that's doing something that might actually be a benefit. It's not the show itself, it's the conversations, the ideas that spread.
Well, for me, I'm just suspicious about whether people are in it for self reasons, for egotistical reasons. And to be honest with you, I'm not a very trusting person at the best of times. So there's things that don't add up for me, and I'm always going to be suspicious. So, all I can say to you is, good luck in whatever you're up to. And
I appreciate it. I tell people too, I say, hey, trust no one. There's no reason to trust me.
No.
I wouldn't trust you because the only thing I'll trust is the information. I'll trust your actions, judge you by your fruits, and I don't care what people say about you. I'll judge you by what you do.
Exactly.
So that's fine with me, and I expect trust is something you earn. If you trusted me the first time we met, I would think that you were a softie.
Yeah.
Trust me until I've demonstrated something that caused you to want to trust me, and I wouldn't want your trust if I didn't earn it in the first place.
Exactly.
So anyway, hey, thanks for having me on. This was a nice talk. I'm sorry if I made Eric mad. I was just like, honestly, it creeped me out. I got paranoid. I'm like, 4 weeks I haven't heard a word. Could they be uploading videos? And I brought it up sort of jokingly.
But here again is the thing. It's like this, a sense of entitlement. Where does that come from? That you think you're entitled, that he should jump and respond to you?
No, I was legitimately thinking he disappeared. They disappeared him because he pissed off the wrong people. because he's being mentioned on all these big shows. Alex Jones goes into a hissy fit when he hears Eric Dubé's names. He triggered Joe Rogan to the point where Joe Rogan is wearing a shirt that says Globe Earth Shill. He devotes every other one of his shows, one of the biggest podcasts on the internet, on the iTunes. And what does he do? He targets Dubé. That tells you what a threat Dubé is. And then for Dubé to disappear for 4 weeks and all his videos to just be text, I'm like, honestly, someone ought to ask the question. I thought it was a fair question. We brought it up. Question was answered within an hour. Problem solved. I don't think there's any trouble there. I was just like, other people have died.
We'll see if there's any trouble, but you know my stance and who I am and what I'm all about. So my eyes are always on it, and I'm just going to call everything, straight out and be totally honest about it every time. So
very good. Well,
yes.
I am subscribed. I'll continue to follow, and I will hit you up probably sometime in July if you want to talk.
Okay, thanks for coming on.
Yep, bye.
Cheers. Well, as I'm seeing in the chat, there's things that just don't make any sense, Again, it's up for people to be critical and discern and analyse what people are saying, see if there's any contradictions, and just be diligent and make sure and I say this, following, idolising, please people, do not fucking do it. You're only giving power to corruption, right? Marshall, what's anything happening in the chat there, mate?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to be bad mouthing guests by proxy, but I don't think many people were actually convinced. I'll just leave it at that. I certainly wasn't impressed with the man's lack of courtesy.
Well, I'm going to talk about a wee bit more about it again because I've already been talking about it, so it's not like anything that's any different. I'm just going to go and grab a wee drink. So give me 2 seconds.
All right, man. Yeah, people. Well, here we go. This is, the platform is open for people to come and state their case, and then we can all see clearly what their case is, can't we? I'd like to have got a chance to maybe answer a couple of questions from the chat, but that didn't happen. Yeah, I mean, I can see a lot of you are seemingly impressed. I would suggest that you employ your critical reasoning a little bit deeper there, and perhaps think twice about that. Baby Jesus, dude, that's not courtesy, man. I don't know what part of the world you come from, but talking over people isn't the way to conduct yourself in a discussion. John Sharp. No, there's no envy, dude. Okay.
So my message is saying, there's things going on in chat that this is born out of jealousy and all this fucking stuff. What a load of fucking shite. No, I'm not jealous at anybody. I don't give a fuck what people think of me or any of that stuff. I don't care if there's only 5 people here or 1,000 or 2,000. I don't care. It's no my incentive, right? My incentive is to question what the fuck is going on, and when I see things that I think are suspicious, I'm going to address them, right? The stuff about Masons and it playing it off as this, that, and the next thing, utter bollocks. We know that they're privy to certain access and they look out for each other. Brenda, fuck off, fucking stalker. Stop pinging me. I'm going to turn that off now. Sometimes you just have to be straight up front and rattle the cage to see what's going to happen, So these divisive characters, again in the chat, trying to portray it as a certain way when it's not that way at all, right? That's what I'm talking about these games with people. And this is how they perpetuate confusion amongst people, because they get into chat and they throw these one-liners and zingers out there, rather than just come and speaking to face-to-face. For me, it's about preserving what the truth is and what is actually going on, right? And I'm watching it continually. So, chat, let's have a look here. Kiana Collis, you do care, Dale. You want the word out there, IPS. You want the word out there, IPS does that too. Aye, but this is the thing. If this is a controlled release and a plan to take us somewhere, then I'm suspicious of certain characters that appear. And it's fine getting the word out, which I do as well. Get active, spread the word. But the important thing about it is to learn the lessons, the things that have caused us problems and brought us to this point in the first place, right? And that is what's important. How you give people the critical thought, the skills to discern. Am I still here?
Oh yeah, Tom. We're getting some peachy comments here. Too much ego, apparently. Come on, people, fucking say no. Yeah?
Well, people can. This is the thing, about these people and why they contribute to the whole confusion and keeping this nonsense perpetuating. Where point to where it's egotistical for me. Please point to it, because if my ego is getting the better of me, then I'll be the first to address it. I'm not any different from the man in the first videos that you can get back to. You're sitting in the shed with his mate talking about this stuff. No fucking different. It's still the same stuff I'm saying. The same stuff that I spoke about right at the beginning. If you don't believe me, go and listen. Go and have a look at it and then come and tell me what's different. This is the whole point. This personalities and it's all about them and that. You know, again, I'm not, you know, a personality leading the movement or a prominent figure leading the movement. That's people who put the labels on me or put the labels on everybody else. The only reason people should be here is for the truth. Right? If I'm offering the truth and offering people something, they can take it or leave it. I set my stall out and that's it. I gave you the other box. Going out. Can you shut the door, please? I gave you the other box.
What?
So any other topics that I was going to bring up here? The only thing I'm going to say again about this whole stuff, people, is that, you know, my suspicions were raised and, you know, I'm not going to commit to trusting anybody. It's not about that. But I worry about games being played, and when I watch and I'm listening to what the guy's saying to me, but then I go and listen and I see what's happening in the hangouts and stuff like that, it's conflicting to what the message is. So I'm going to go to the bottom of the chat here, see what people are saying. If you've got something to say to me, say it and I'll read it out and I'll address it right now. Jay Johnson, I wish people maintained their logic and reasoning at all times, but we don't, sadly. But hopefully we grow and move on, know them by their fruits. Well, this is it. None of these are perfect, and this has never happened before. I have nothing to reference this by. I understand the mind, my mind, how it works. I understand how to see through bullshit. I understand how to question claims that are made to me. But again, it's a journey that has been a strain. You know, we all have emotion, and the emotions get strained, and sometimes we act in ways that we otherwise wouldn't act if we were calm and thinking rationally and logically. You know, but sometimes we get caught up in the heat of the moment. I have emotion. I'm a passionate type of guy, and again, people will say, "Oh, you say you don't have emotion." No. The whole point about it is the question should never be dealt with from an emotional point of view. It doesn't require emotion. Objective reality is emotionless. It is what it is, regardless of what you feel or think. So my whole point of pushing that and saying that was when it was being brought into this arena and to do with the whole question, and people were using emotions to sway and manipulate. That's where it's an issue. But of course, every one of us is on this journey and experiencing emotions and different things going on in our lives. You know, and I'm included in that. I am by no means any fucking saviour, messiah, or, you know, any better than anybody else. I'm just as fallible as you and everybody else. But I know the subject and I know what's important to it and I know what has to be done and how it has to be preserved. And that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I set out to achieve, and I'm going to stick to it. Alyssa Hawk. Oh, shit. I moved it. Sorry about that. ADR Dale, thanks for having the discussion. With IPS, we all win as a result of speaking with one another. Well, that's what it takes. I'm a quite straightforward type of person. You know, I will say what's on my mind and I will ask questions that can be uncomfortable and a bit cringy for people, but I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm past, you know, walking in eggshells for anybody. When you get to this kind of realisation, I've no time for eggshells, you know, absolutely no time at all. Synthetic mindset, if Dell, Eric and IPS could find a way to work on each other's strengths, that would be ideal. Of course, if everybody could start singing from the same songbook and represent the actual truth of the situation properly, fair enough. All these other subjects like guys like IPS brought up have been there through the whole truth movement, right? And now this comes along. So this, along with all the other avenues of research and understanding, stand alone, you know, as individuals, individual avenues of exploration and, you know, contemplation, but they have to be separated, you know. I don't talk about natural science and the objective reality and then jump straight to, oh, reptiles are running the show, or, you know, bring that in as if it has some sort of relevance. What I've just said about reptiles is a whole other subject that deserves its own avenue of exploration, you know. So the strengths should just be identifying people who represent the truth of the situation and this subject. Morgan Ellis, IPS is an asset to this movement, in my humble opinion. Well, each to their own. You know, I'm just going to call out how I see things and rattle cages where I think I need to rattle them in order to try and find something that I'm looking for. So if people want to, you know, and again, place your emotions, your trust into some strange person that you don't know or ever met, fine, right? But please do that when you know that they're represent the actual facts of the situation. This is part of the psyop, this shill, and focusing on people so that we're distrusting and we don't know who to trust and blah, 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 blah. When that tells you everything, because they know that people are looking for somebody to trust, they are looking for a saviour or a leader type figure, so they're playing upon that. When if we could remove that type of mentality for people, again, it might be my ideal, then you're not going to have a place for that. People are not going to be dependent on some guru or saviour. They're going to have the tools and they already know, and then they can watch the walk and the content of people and they can see clearly through it, just like I can. So again, I'm not buying this. It's fair enough. You can point out to somebody that's been lied to in a certain aspect, but the key, most important thing is how we get in this, and that comes down to the individual and taking responsibility and being properly educated in the tools that we require to operate with each other and within the environment we find ourselves in. And again, this environment, what we call Earth, nature, none of that, I don't know any of that to be true. I don't know where we are right now, what situation we are in. For all we know, as I say, we are the offspring of beings who have been brought from somewhere else and placed here, for all we fucking know. Or, as I say, a technology that started becoming self-aware and they're watching and trying to, who knows? All I know is that in order for us to get closer to these types of things, we need to have exploration within the physical realm, referencing books and throwing each other's subjective ideas at each other. It's just not going to go anywhere. We need to verify and falsify any of these things, and the only way to achieve it is by full exploration. Again, people think that's an ideal, but what the fuck are you supposed to aim for? When you realise logically and you know the situation that you're in, there is nowhere else to go. Every other avenue is going to leave you at the hands of confusion, at the hands of manipulators, at the hands of second-hand information, at the hands of having to put your trust in external sources, which I'm just not prepared to do, and neither should any of you. It's all or nothing as far as I'm concerned. Undiscovered country, we only imagine a curve with you on live chat with Katie, but it's Karen put it the other night. Yep, they invited me and asked me to go on a hangout. I certainly was. See if I had anything I could offer anybody, So, the psyops, just taking a recap, it's this manipulation and trying to perpetuate people to stay at an emotional level, to judge things from there and to react from an emotional level. Other aspects of the psyop is the continued focus on personalities. These are where it is. The psyop is not that the earth is not a globe, or that, flat earth was put there by government. Part of the psyop is maps and models being pushed out, cartoons that were pushed out deliberately to get people to attach onto, so that they would defend and represent a certain model, and then you could have people coming in and attacking them to make it look stupid and to cause this conflict of one side of the fence and the other side of the fence. There's things that we just don't know that are in an ongoing investigation, and real science doesn't have two sides of the fence, right? When we're dealing with the objective world, it only is what it is. There is no two sides of the fence. Your subjective interpretation of things and somebody else's subjective interpretation of the same thing is what causes a division and two sides of the fence. A brick, a stone is a stone, right? Your subjective experience of that stone might be different from somebody else's subjective experience of the stone, but there is a stone. It is objectively true. I've seen that before it was removed, about imagine if every sub donated me money and stuff like that. That's never going to happen, I will struggle on the way I've always struggled on. I didn't have anybody's donations or money before I came into this, and my lifestyle hasn't advanced in a way where I would need to maintain it by getting money from any people. I managed to figure out a way to survive that kept me going, and I'm still here. So, and I understand that there's a whole stigma attached to truth, and people make money from truth. But again, each to their own. Your circumstances are different from mine. Don't give me money, right? Give me a summer house somewhere where the sun actually comes out. Any rich people out there that live in a hot country that need a fucking gardener, I'll live in the shed at the bottom of your garden as long as I'm getting good weather. I can get my shots on every day. I don't want for much. So, I don't know, I'm beginning a wee bit of mind body. If anybody wants to have a chat about any of these topics, then fair enough, let me know. What time are we on? 25. I don't have anywhere I need to be right now. So, is there anybody looking to have a chat about anything?
No, dude. I sort of didn't put out the mail. I've just done it now. Right, peeps. I'm now monitoring the email account. If anybody wants to link in.
Mel Beauregard, bring the family and Marshall to Australia. I know for I'm not any holidays, that upheaval and then the depression of having to come back to the grey sky. If I'm going for good.
Well, Merrill, you were quick off the mark, dude. Merrill's going to pop in for 5 minutes.
Cool. Flat Earth, another hope of tears. I'm very glad IPS and Dell spoke. We all want the truth or wouldn't be here discussing Flat Earth. We go about it in our different ways based on what we are good at doing, according to our skill set. And that's fine if everybody's using their skill sets and their individuality to take it further, but for me it's about progress and what is actually progressive, you know. And at the same time, the most important thing out of this is not to save people, not to convince anybody anything. It's to show people maybe that they've been lied to, and then to educate them properly on how to think and how to assess the world and information that's coming their way. That's it. If you're a real truther and you've been in this for so long, you think people would have figured that out by now, you know? I know my chances are increased of getting real objective truth if I've got, as I say, strong critical thinking individuals. The more the merrier, you know. And psychopathic manipulative characters know that that's a threat to them, because if people have that ability, you're not going to be able to lie to them. You're not going to be able to bullshit and throw your illogical nonsense at them. Right? They're going to see through it and they're going to tear you down. So for me, that's the buffer. That's the method that we need to prevent it. And if you doubt it, go back and look at when they removed these things that I'm talking about, you know. Sorry, I've lost my place there. Vortex puppy, Gav. Nothing is more evident than a man telling the truth, believing it to be a lie, is guilty of a falsehood. Yeah. Stone Tarry, could you point us in the direction of this with the education and when it changed over? As I say, you know, Gav was, you know, talking to me about this and some of the information that you can trace back, and when they removed certain things from the curriculum, from the education system, when they removed the liberal arts, things like the trivium, the quadrivium, and they replaced them with like Gaelic and fucking Latin and, you know, daft things like this. It's there. You can go and find out. There's people like Gav, he bought me a book and brought it, Thomas Reid's, one of Thomas Reid's books. I don't know if Gav could maybe paste it if he's listening into the comments. They had to remove that. If you're going to, you know, remember, think about it. If people have been together for a long period of time, all this nonsense would have been worked out because people would have got fucking sick of it and fed up. So they devised and came to realisations through some sort of natural process and how to live with each other and recognise all the shit that was going on amongst each other. And then they would have established it. They would have put it down as a method, you know, and documented it, which for me became things like the trivium, right? So it was there and people operated from that, and then it was removed. And slowly but surely, people degraded to the point that we're at right now, where people don't have a fucking clue how to critical think. People are basing every experience from emotional reaction. The majority of people react from emotional impulse. I once heard you say you feel that everything is some sort of mind process or has mind in it. Can you talk more about that? I was talking about origins and how things come to be, and that for me, I explored in great detail, you know, same as every other subject, materialism, physicalism, in regards to how matter came to be, how life came from matter, and then how that produced consciousness. And for me, it's not right. If anything happens, in order for something to happen, we need intent, we need mind. Things don't just spontaneously appear from nowhere. We have no practical example or experience of that ever happening. So for me, it's a total nonsense. What I witness is intent and mind being anything that happens. Any movement, anything that happens, there is intent behind it, a cause. You know? So people looked for a naturalistic cause, we'll call it that, where they remove intelligent design and they wanted to find what they call a naturalistic cause, which means matter and chance and, you know, randomness, that it's an accident. So for me, that's flawed. It doesn't work. It's nonsense. If I'm intellectually honest with myself and I understand these things, I then look at it. I look at the whole reality that we're experiencing. Things work like a fucking clock. Life is complex. For me, it's designed, it's intended, right? So mind is at the root of reality. That's what I mean by that. I don't know if that clears it up. Meryl, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Just listening to you.
Nice one, man.
Yeah, it's pretty serious tonight, so respect for that.
Well, I can't have a laugh, you know, I don't have a sense of
I reached that IPS guy and I got drawn into his whole art show and the premise, and I did find I don't know, like it was interesting for a little while. I did kind of get sucked into him a little bit. I can admit that. I'm annoyed at myself now because he blocked me. He said something about Hitler being a tranny, and I kind of called him out on it too, saying like, what are you sprouting nonsense like this for? Like, he just went down the whole tranny path so hard, and it was like, you called him out. One thing I noticed about that guy, I haven't seen or heard his emotion change once. He talks like a robot. Sorry, man, but if you're listening still out there, I haven't heard many human beings talk like you. Sorry. There's no emotional fluctuation in your tone, and that just tells me you're really detached and you're not operating on a normal level. And whatever your game is, people are watching you, mate, so just take notice.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Sorry, that just...
Again, the whole tranny thing, it's another thing that just gets brought in. It's like people are going to get restless and start asking real questions, so we need to throw in some other fucking distraction. You know, no trees, fucking trannies, whatever the fuck it is. You know, for me, it just feels like distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
To stop people getting to the real crux of the matter and getting real progress happening. As I've said to people before, all these things, you know, they already existed here within wherever it is we are. You know, we can assess all that at a later date. Right now, we need to establish where the fuck it is we actually are. You know, but like they keep throwing shiny at people and getting them back into the pen again and looking at the shiny while they're being distracted, rather than let's just leave the shiny. It's not going to go anywhere. If we go and we find out and establish that we're stuck here, then we can come back and we can sift through the shiny and maybe try and make sense of it or get some closure, which I highly doubt we ever will anyway, you know. But for me, the most important thing and what I see is physical control and mental control to keep you restricted and no moving. That tells me everything, right? That they don't want us going and finding the parameters or anywhere else something significant, whatever it might be, you know.
And I don't want to give them to. When I say them, I'm saying the government, the financial establishment, the entertainment industry, the military. I've started to question if they are now all one organization. I don't know. No way I know that. It seems like wars, everything I'm really aware of after the war, because Eric Dubay has put out that nuclear bombs aren't real. Everything's questioning. Everybody seems to be questioning everything who's a flat earther.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even consider myself a flat earther. All I can see from the videos I've seen, it scared the fucking shit out of me, you know? It did. And I was looking to get grounded, and that's when I found you. Because I was out there going through all this content, and I was just like, what the hell's going on? I thought I was going crazy. And then I'd turn to people around me and go, can you see this? Do you realize how fucking big this is? Like, this is like, if you're in a car, that was like the handbrake went on.
And it is scary. It's an emotional fucking thing to take, man. But if people don't feel that emotion and that fear and that, you know, that realisation, they're not thinking enough about it, you know? You get that scared feeling in that wall when you're actually really contemplating it properly. And seeing what the fuck's going on here, you know?
And that's a healthy reaction for anybody who is, everything you're talking about is from Gav, like I look Marshall, where we've all got our stories. We've all come to this at the same time for whatever reason. But I was thinking about Marshall, you know, he's obviously musical. I don't know how you guys are related, but there's obviously people who care. They care about you. This is like...
You've hit the nail on the head there. Regardless of what anybody's going to say about me after this, my intent is true and pure. And, you know, and if anybody else is involved in this with their intent pure and true, then they will understand why I do what I do and why I approach things the way I approach them, you know, because they should know that it's based in pure intent for the right reasons, you know. And that's it. That's all that should be matter to people, you know. It's not a popularity contest. This isn't about, you know, me being more popular than IPS or IPS now being more popular than me. It's got nothing to do with it, you know. I would still say these things regardless. I was saying these things to guys like Matt Powland or whoever right at the beginning when nobody knew who I was. You know, I still addressed and spoke the exact same way that I do right now, you know, because my intent is always going to be the same. Sorry for cutting cutting you off there, mate.
No, you're fine. I'm a little bit upset. Like I can see, like, you know, even my hands like shaking a bit. Like this is very turn your life upside down stuff. If we don't get, I've felt the fear take hold of me. I've started thinking of all sorts of things I never would have contemplated, like, ever. But when I meditate, I don't know, I do. It grounds me and it centers me. All this attention that's going outward, I've got a way to center myself, get balance.
Yeah.
And when I was a teenager, whatever, kung fu, you know, I'm a bit sensitive soul, but I'm not a fucking idiot.
No.
And if somebody says, look, try this out, I'm like you, I'll give it a go. If it works, cool. If it's nothing, keep rolling.
That's it, mate.
So,
and that's the thing. It's the same for me, man. You know, people see this tattoos and, you know, your stature, whatever you look like, but I'm the same as you. I'm sensitive and I always have been very, very sensitive, you know, to loads of different things, emotionally, psychologically. You know, I'm a sensitive being as well, you know. But just like you say, I'm not a fucking idiot. I might have been an idiot before and learned some harsh lessons, but that's what builds you to the point that you're at right now, you know. And it's just like, you know, your manners and your mannerisms, you say a truth and I say a truth. It doesn't matter. It's a truth that's important. It doesn't matter where it's emanating from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they continually use these things against people. Like, oh, he's aggressive, he's angry, he's passionate, he's not aggressive, he's sad, and, you know, he's this and that. And he's none of that matters. None of it matters. You know, we're all different from each other. And, you know, there is no right or wrong. There's no supreme being. You know, we just are what we are. And for me, we need to unite under a common banner, and that is objective truth. You know. So.
Yeah. It's really important, guys. Like, whoever's listening, I've had people lie to me, lead me astray. I've been gullible in my life. My mum, like, I went to this place like far from home in South America. My mum lost her life savings. My mum's got PTSD. Like, she's 70 years old. Like, I'm only bringing this in. Like, bad shit can happen to people.
Yeah.
She never hurt anybody. My mum, I've had like some crazy shit go down. So's my mum. And all I'm trying to get at is, like I said to you the first time we spoke, this was not on my radar. But the only reason I came across it is because I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with Donald Trump. But moving forward, it makes sense as well. It makes sense that there's an objective reality, but there's also, like, one hand is the objective reality. No matter what any of us think about it, it is what it is. But on the other hand, there's a deception, and there's human beings. I can't get to the level that there's aliens and super intelligence. It's us. And then there's lions and tigers. For some reason, we're the top of the food chain in this system. There's nothing above us. That's what it seems like. And wherever the other beings and creatures are, and maybe they're watching us like some fucking TV show, you know, I just can't get with that. So, like, we're here, the humans, but I think what people get caught in is when they think of God, they think God's like an old man in the sky or like a human. But the thing I'm saying, like, God made everything, the landscape, water, insects, fucking mosquitoes, flies. Didn't just make us. I don't think whatever created all this is anything like a form. It's more like a conscious energy. We've got love in our hearts. Yeah, we can kill each other. There's something there, Del, as well. Like, I feel that hate is there, but love is there. Cruelty is there, but kindness is there. It's like opposite.
Yeah.
And it feels like the elites and the thing that made the deception inverted everything and have somehow confused us and turned us in on ourselves, and they've hidden what it's all about from us. And I think that's what everybody's waking up to. And it's easy to go, well, and I'm like you, when you start talking about the technology and being in the container, personally, I hadn't had thoughts like that, but I don't know either. So I'm listening to you, and that kind of shakes me up a bit, that we could be a self-aware technology and that I might have been created in, I don't know, by an alien or a monster that wants to fucking eat me for dinner,
Could be
fair
anything.
enough. Fair enough. It's like, whoa.
That's the thing. That's keeping your mind open to any possibility. That's always been me. I don't, although certain contemplations might scare me that I might not want to be true, I still have to keep myself open to them actually being true, because regardless of what the actual truth of the situation is, I want to know. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Whatever it is, it's just like, you're up for it. See how brave? That's fucking brave, Del.
That's it.
It is, man.
That's
And I just thank you, because it's the level, stay level. The fear comes on, you shake it off again, and you keep moving forward. Somebody says something rude to you, it affects you for a second, keep moving. It's all about staying on the level and focus.
Yeah, and watch where you put attention. For me, the whole game, everything that I've witnessed in my life, all seems to be about consent and how you carry yourself. And if you take responsibility and you're not consenting to any of these things, it doesn't have any power over you. The whole game is about that, It's a very delicate game. And as you say, what it leads to, is there an ultimate mind behind this manipulation? Is there a good guy, a bad guy? Is there good entities, bad entities, nice spirits, bad spirits, angels, demons? I mean, none of that is in our direct experience right now. And for me, whatever it is, let's just try and find out. But the only way I can see forward and getting as closer to answering these things is to establish exactly where it is we are first, to get a bigger picture, a real picture. I start building a real picture of where it is we are, because we don't know what's out there. For all we know, as you say, another contemplation, where we're supposed to be is away over that way, and everybody over there's having a great time, unaware that all this is happening here. I mean, we'll take, why do we farm in the first place? For our own benefit, so that we don't need to toil and have hardship. So maybe our groups went, right, we'll take some there, and then we'll keep them in this corner, and then we can be the rulers and fucking run the show, and we don't need to do nothing, and we'll just keep passing it on to our families. And I mean, could be anything. Could be anything. So the point is, mate, just as you say, it's just to remain open and watch when we jump into looking for a bias or something to believe in just because it's comfortable or it suits us. For me, I try and eradicate belief in every aspect of myself that I possibly can. It does me no favours whatsoever.
The premise of this episode, you know how you have you were going to talk about different things. It says it in the title. I'll maybe jump out and let you get focused again and tune back into why you got the episode going in the first place.
No problems, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on, Meryl. So always a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise.
Cheers, and thanks for opening up and sharing a wee bit of yourself as well, man.
Yeah, it's giving me a good shake. Rattle the cage.
That's that, mate.
Yeah.
Good man.
Take care, Del.
Take it easy, bud. Cheers, mate.
See you, man.
So, if I was going back to any of the subjects, what I'll do is I'll go to the chat here, and if anybody who wants to, bring up any aspect to any of these subjects, let me know.
I'm getting asked from Merle's YouTube channel in chat. Merle doesn't run a YouTube channel. He's got a substantial amount of creative output on Vimeo. I'll go find the link for you people if you're interested.
See, there's a thing, people are saying about Merle and, being nice and calm and sensitive and stuff. But, there's a guy who's like that, who can come in and just speak to me. There's no intimidation or any of this nonsense that people try and put out there. Jolly Dale, search within, my brother. People keep saying that to me. Do you know the amount of people that I've met through my life who say these zingers and these sound bites? Look in yourself. Look in. I spent a hell of a long time on my own and still do contemplate, searching and looking within, figuring things out, eradicating nonsense from my mind, my psyche. There's nothing else within to find. Right? For me, we're still in the same situation. My next logical step is to establish where it is I am. I don't know if, people say these, search within, you will find. Well, just tell us what it is we're supposed to be looking for. That's always what I say to people. Why is it this mysterious guru type mind? Search within, the answers are within, like a fucking, a big mystery. Respect, Meryl, people, nice one. Pragmatic. Has anyone studied NLP, persuasion, etc.? is important regarding this subject. Certainly is. It's another aspect of it, pragmatic. All these things are really relevant. How NLP works is, again, it's how your mind works, how you're susceptible to certain things. And the reason they can use NLP in any hypnotist or street performer like guys like Darren Brown, they require your naivety right? They require you not to be empowered and critical and switched on. And then they can apply things like NLP persuasion, NLP for people's neuro-linguistic programming, and it's used in different methods. There's a cracking breakdown, what's the video called? And it was regarding common purpose, a thing called common purpose. I don't know if people are aware of common purpose. You can check it out for yourself. And I think, was it Julia Middleton, is that her name? And she gave a talk, and she recites this story, and it's really to, bring people under the wing of the common purpose. And she uses an anecdotal story, and it's about hand gestures and eye movements and certain phrases. There's loads of aspects here. It's the same as any, as I say, street performer, so-called psychic or cold reader. They all use these same tactics. They know people are in bewilderment and full of fucking nonsense and searching and all. So they understand that. And if you know the class system, you know that the majority of people who are like that are in the lower class level, because they're really in hardship, bewilderment, struggling. So they all have the same woes, the same angst, the same issues. And you can just generalise and play upon that. You know the kind of typical mindset. So there is a whole case study, there's a whole understanding to be had with these topics. Corey Stewart, have to go, Dale. Thank you so much. So thank you, Corey. I appreciate you coming, man. Glad you get something from it. Matt C, NLP mimics the way we talk anyway. Don't get too bogged down with it, or you will be checking yourself every time you talk, like when you really want to put a point across, for example. No, I know that, but when you've got a liar or a manipulator, that is what they do. They mimic how we talk and, use assertive phrases and gestures and touch, and there's loads of aspects of it. It's still something that, I recommend people try and understand and then recognise it and see practical examples of it. And then you can realise when it's being done to you, when you're being subject of it. Again, it's about empowering yourself to be able to realise these things. The manipulation only happens when you're in ignorance. If you're in ignorance of something or unaware of something, and I know that you're unaware of something or in ignorance of something, I have power there, because then I can play upon your ignorance,
So I've got another join request, though, if you're going to stay on for a while.
Who's asking you to join?
It's In Plain Sight, Ben.
Cool. I'm just going to nick to the toilet. So bear with me, people.
Okay, dude. Ben, your link's going out now, dude. I dropped Merle's address into the box, so everyone that wanted to take a look, I hope you got it. I don't want to start spamming. I like his style, man, personally. In fact, fuck it, I'm going to do it one more time. Anybody that missed it, that's Merle's channel, or not his channel, in fact his site. I should actually be encouraging him to link up on YouTube, because I think people are eager to see what others are about, and it's good to show a bit of support, isn't it? All right, Jay, I'll see you later, man. Alvin Bailey, we've got a phone number. I'll wait for Dale to come back, because I'm not sure whether the phone's active today. But I'll tell you what, I'll throw the number out there, and Dale can deal with it. No, was that phone turned on?
No, it's not turned on. No.
Somebody was asking if they could. They had something to say, but they want to do it by phone. So I'll put the number out just in case.
Just give it a couple of minutes until it fires up and gets a wee bit of a charge on it. Because as I say, once the Saturday thing's finished, I usually just leave it to run out of charge. I'm going to switch it on in a wee minute. In regards to like infiltration and stuff as well, if say there's a police investigation or whatever, and they want to infiltrate, say a fucking a gang or a whatever, in order for them to get their man in there, they have to have somebody who sings the right tune. They have to have somebody that seems to look the part. They kind of have a trace, that can be traced to where they've originated from. But in regards to this, it's like they're rushing things now. They're not even trying to mask where they bring these characters in. They're just appearing from fucking nowhere. And all of a sudden, they're big things and, having a sway and an influence. And for me, as I say, alarm bells just go off when I see these things happen. I'm not going to keep going over old ground again, but I've said what I've said. And it's up to people now, to make their own decisions and watch what happens. I think this has got a wee bit of charge on it. See if it switches on. And, as I say, again, getting back to me and people saying whatever about jealousy and all this fucking stuff. No, people, I'm in this, and I made that conscious decision from the start to be in here to represent, the common man and the real truth. And I'm going to shake up and I'm going to shout and I'm going to make myself be known. you know, until there's enough of people like myself and others who are run about who are in this and shouting that type of thing. But until then, you know, I'm just going to keep shouting and let it be known, because there has to be a different option for people, or else these fuckers would just have it all sewn up to the way they want it to be, which is the way it was a couple of years ago. Sorry, people, just bear with me a wee minute.
Yeah, that's a couple of calls you're going to be having coming down on the phone, I think. Ben, your link is out, dude, so if you're there.
Oh no, the views are going down. Oh no, Marshall, what are we going to do?
It gets much worse, dude. I'll have to come good on my promise. People are asking in chat if they can listen to my musical output. It's not a musical output, man. Let's be serious. If anybody's interested, go and have a look at my channel if they want. A few bits on there. I will get round to putting some stuff on, but I play with drones and hypnotise myself with it, so it's not to everybody's taste.
Music and art's another great way of getting involved, and I would love to. You know, I just don't want to be sitting here as an entertainer, entertaining people. If anybody has any musical projects that I could maybe contribute to, let me know. If there's any other projects or stuff that I could help anybody with, let me know. As I say, don't listen to other people who say they're representing me. Just come here, and speak to me. And if I can help, if I can promote anybody in any way or put anything out there, then I will. As I say, this whole point of this platform was for the people.
So we got that, peeps. Just mail into nocurve@gmx.com if you want any kind of cooperation with anything.
If there's any projects you want to get involved in, if you want to do some street activism stuff and you want to learn the methods, anything, just let me know. Just send a message here or send a message to nocurve@gmx. If I can help anybody who's going to be active or is getting involved in anything that helps to progress this further, then I'll contribute whatever I can. And if that's just what I know and my experience, then that's what I'll offer. Musical ability, I can offer that as well. Whatever it is. I might be needing some people for projects as well. If you're local and you have decent video and equipment and stuff, if you want to get involved in making some vids or filming some of the things that I'm going to be getting up to, let me know as well. I'm limited in my resources. I don't have a lot of equipment, so if people are out there and they want to get active in any of this stuff, just as I say, let me know.
Right, I'm gonna throw the number out again because there's people asking. So are we fired up on the phone yet, Dom?
That's it. It's switched on right now.
Okay, peeps.
And there's 7 messages. Fed up of clowns riding the wave. I'm at zero tolerance with this crap now. Answers are needed. Chris Hayes, South West England. And yes, choir preaching. We know what we know. We want answers now. I'm fully up for joining people for peaceful activism. We need numbers and a get together. Exactly, Chris. Thanks for messaging. And I've got somebody who's arrived here. I'm not going to be able to answer the phone right now. In plain sight.
Hi, Dale.
How you doing, man?
I'm alright. Just call me Ben.
Ben, how you doing, bud?
I'm alright. I'm in Scotland, not too far from you.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of your street interviews were actually done down the meadows just around my house, so kind of ring the bell for me.
Excellent.
But yeah, very nice conversation today. I was glad you had that IPS guy on. I've been listening to him for a while. Interesting stuff to say, but as always, no idols, no prophets. You say that always, no messiah. Every religion's got a messiah for some reason.
Yeah.
And but you want to train people critical thinking, so you should trust in them to be able to listen to someone and take the good, throw away the bad. So I believe everybody is gonna have some decent point every now and then. If you look at how we poison animals, you give a little bit of poison in a lot of water. So it's the same with the lies. Usually you're gonna have a lot of good stuff, and the core, the foundation, is what pushes you towards the lie.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things you were saying today, I agree with, and I always, when I talk to people, because I don't have any content on YouTube, but I suppose I do most of my content in real life, just talking to people, strangers, families alike. Obviously,
that's the important part, man.
That's the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you give video content online, you're going to have people giving you feedback, but the feedback of your family, your friends, and just strangers in the street is always the more valuable for me.
Yeah, definitely.
So, a lot of the points you were saying, I agree with, I don't know how to pinpoint one, but when I try to engage people on those subjects, very often they need concrete fact of realities, show them proof in the real world that they experience every day. And there's a lot of them that we don't always think about that are very useful, especially when it relates to authorities lying to us or just, normal people lying to us. one of my hobbies is doing magic, close-up magic, stuff like this. And I work with professional magicians. So, the art of deception, as they call it, is well known to mankind. It's well documented. There's very old books about how to manage individuals or in larger groups, crowds. One of the first book on psychology was by a French guy. I'm French origin. I don't know if you can hear by my accent. But it was called The Crowd. And it was a study of how people behave as a big crowd. And it's been used against us during a lot of revolution, protest. Every time people go for a genuine reason in the street to protest, somehow it doesn't achieve the purpose, and it's more than often turned against them because crowds is easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
As you can see, when you have lots of people in the chat, it's hard to have one voice.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it.
To continue on the magic path, they use all this principle to deceive people as entertainment and with consent. So that's okay. But obviously, when the same techniques are used against us without our consent, that's what makes it not okay. So it's just about pointing the intent, as you were talking about today, behind the tools that are. The tools are not good or evil. They're neutral. It's the intent behind how they're used. So acknowledging people those tools exist, and you can use them for good or bad, just like education.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. It's just like you say, it depends on my lack of knowing or ignorance in order for your street magic to work on me. As soon as I become aware of the methods and how you're using them, it has no effect anymore.
Well, I mean, you won't believe that it's supernatural. It'll still be entertaining. You'll have a laugh. People have a different interaction, but they won't praise you like you're a supernatural being. Some magician made career on pretending they had those powers. It was quite fallacious. It would be controversial today. 100 years ago, it was different. And there's big controversy with the mind readers and the tarot card readers. People who can read the future or talk to dead people because they use very much the same technique. So I'm not saying that some people won't do it with a good intent, but there's questions to be asked there.
Yeah, and I've had my experience of that as well. And for me, it's the majority of it's cold reading, as I'm sure you'll testify to. You can tell your target subjects and the type of background they have, and the class in society that they're coming from, and what they're susceptible to.
Exactly. People give themselves labels all the time, and that's the first thing we do when you meet someone. You say, "Hi, how you doing?" A stranger, what do you do? And they're gonna give you the first label, and so already you have a bunch of information to pick from right from the start.
Yeah.
So it's about breaking down those labels, because this is not really who we are. You're gonna give a different label to maybe someone else.
Yeah.
But we're conditioned to use those labels all the time, as you say.
That's it. And when it's conditioned and it's contrived, like a certain culture, the type of mindset that you're going to interact with. Their kind of makeup. So, and as you say, they only have to give you a wee piece of information. What do you do for a living? I'm a mechanic. Straight away, you can start to build a profile and a picture of what their daily life's going to be like.
On a Friday night, on game day, all that. But you were saying we need to teach people how to have critical thought, and we're sold that school's supposed to teach kids that critical thought. But in actual practice, I suppose most people, their own experience will tell you that it is not true. If you ask questions in school, very often it's problematic more than anything. My personal experience, I've been chucked out of class quite often just for asking, having a critical question that kind of embarrassed the teacher, and they take it personally, right, you're out of it. We had this saying in French that you're not here to think, you're here to learn, and that's very different.
Exactly.
That's the key point. From there on, all your life is not going to be about thinking, it's going to be about learning.
Yeah, that's cult mentality. That is, we've been born into a cult mentality. You're not thinking critically, you're just learning whatever your culture wants you to know.
You're right. It's probably harder for people to identify because every cult usually has a relic, or mandala, or a sacred book, something that they draw all their authorities from. And today people maybe it's difficult for society to identify what is the idol, what is the relic, because...
the idol in this case for me is the spinning globe, flying through the fucking universe.
Mm-hmm.
That is their idol,
Yeah, definitely. Well, one of many, IPS talks about the Hydra, the monster with many heads, like every religion is one head. That's along the same line, really.
Yeah.
But, the same institution, school, that at the moment doesn't promote critical thinking, very well could, if we kind of retake control over it.
Again, it's just about awareness, and people asking and requesting for that, Like I would be going into my school and saying, why is things like the liberal arts not being implemented as part of the curriculum for the kids to have that critical thought? Why are we not demanding that these things be reinstated? Get rid of Gaelic and Latin and all this fucking nonsense. nonsense and give people the skills that they actually require, you know?
Well, I don't mind Latin because, you know, if you read Latin, you can understand where a lot of the shit we have today from, I imagine, you know, if you're a scholar, but for everyday life, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think I'm saying that just as a reference because I'm sure it was Gav was saying that, you know, they removed things like the liberal arts and replaced them with like these languages and stuff. So I'm just using that. I don't mean that against, you know, Latin.
Well, I mean, just a simple example of that is you travel around Europe and you will see that, you know, some countries in Europe still have a strong art curriculum when some others, they don't even have a sport curriculum anymore. You know, it's like you don't do any art, you don't do any sport.
Yeah.
It's all on math and science, they think.
They think.
Yeah.
Dude, while there's a pause, can I just read the number out here? It's 073936545544. So people are complaining that the chat's breaking up, though, and they can't pick the phone number up. So
all right. Yeah, well, you've read it out, so that's fine. That's fine. So in plain sight, I thought you had a channel. I thought I'd recognised that name before. Not as in plain sight.
It's probably someone with a similar name.
Yeah, I think it's an old 9/11 video. Actually, I think it was called In Plain Sight. I think that's where I'm remembering it from.
I might have thought about it unconsciously then, because, you know, I remember 9/11 vividly, and I already had questions back then. You know, I always had questions. I never kind of really believed anything I was taught in school, just because I was getting chucked out every time I had a valid question. So I was like, those guys, they don't care about us learning anything. They obviously want to push something on us.
Yeah.
And obviously I kind of looked as an outcast for that, you could say, which is okay because, you know, the majority has never been right as far as I'm concerned in the history of the human race. So why all of a sudden we just follow what is a consensus when really it isn't? There's all these people asking questions. There's books about flat Earth for hundreds of years. You know, it's never been a consensus. Even at the time of Newton or Copernicus, there was people, you know, pulling their hairs around this idea. So making it look like it is a consensus today and it's been for 500 years, it's fallacious. This is not true.
No. I just don't see it going back that far either, you know.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think this whole, it's been known for 2,000 years and 500 years, I just don't think so.
Well, you know, I go 500 years because that's the printing press, roughly. But before that, even with the printing press, you can falsify a lot. And a lot of books have been written with different intent, you know. Something that irritates me, I hear this quite a lot, is people quoting Voltaire for freedom of speech. And, you know, this dude wrote a lot of books, but he never wrote what he thought. You know, it's if you read his private letters, he was boasting about deceiving the masses through his book, thinking he was a nice guy. And everywhere he was invited by people who were fan of his work, you could say, for the time, he was very quickly evicted for not being a very good, you know, tenant or whatever. You can look, if your hands are the complete opposite, you're going to be exposed at some point. So it kind of irritates me. People use this guy as a reference for freedom of speech when really he didn't care that much.
Yeah.
Once again, another false idol. You put a statue here and people, oh, you know, we're going to live by the principle of those guys. Well, did he actually applicate them himself?
Exactly.
Often you're going to be disappointed.
Exactly. I cringe when I see things like that, these statues and idols. You know, you understand that it's just detrimental to the psychology of people, you know, when they're constantly holding themselves to these people that they've never met or had any direct experience of. And it's just that, for me, it's a state of the mental illness that people are, you know, in right now. You know?
Yeah, and it goes quite far because I was a tour guide for a while in Edinburgh, so I used to take people around the city centre, and they would pass through in front of statues. They didn't even know who a statue of it was. It was just a relic that was here, it was shiny. They would all take pictures of it. So, you know, we would go in front of a lot of Adam Smith related stuff, and you know, they would kind of prostrate. They would go on their knees almost in front of a statue of someone that they didn't really know his influence on history or the impact he had or the work he produced or anything. And if they did know, they might have acted a little bit different. So obviously I was maybe not in a position to kind of say too much about it, but, you know, I would tell them, you know, it's just a statue. Calm down.
That's it. Don't have any direct relation or experience of it. You know, it's just nonsense. But
yeah,
people
as you said, they get emotional.
Yeah, patriotic to things that they don't know nothing about, that they've never experienced. It's all these substitutes that they take on board. Then you wonder, people saying, why are people so confused? And that's exactly the reason why. Their mind is full of these viruses that they don't even realise are viruses, you know?
Yeah, and they're contradictory very often. You know, they're gonna have moral principles that don't lie. They don't go along together. You know, they contradict each other. So it's it's not a sound basis for anything. That's why you're so confused. And you keep talking about the programming. I don't know if you've read The Brave New World by Aldous Huxley.
I know, I've not read
Great. It's a nice book of sci-fi about an utopian future. And they condition people through just repetition. Repeat the same thing 70,000 times until they're 9 years old. And then after that, you repeat another mantra. And then they just assume them as real without questioning anything. And anything that contradicts that puts them obviously in a state of cognitive dissonance that you know well about. So I think we're just kind of on a different degrees of cognitive dissonance all the time when we're talking to these people. And if you can recognize how far they are, suppose in the shock, then you can try and treat it.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's you got to discern for the individual and whoever it is you're engaging with it, and try and find the level they're at and see if you can plant a seed that's relevant to the mind level that they're at that moment in time.
At that moment, exactly. Because if you expect instant reward, it's not going to happen. Very rarely you're going to turn people just after 10 minutes on conversation. You need to wait. It's going to happen.
Even
you get frustrated if you engage with people and you're rejected at first.
Yeah, that's it. And
it's them with questions.
Yeah, so I'm saying even a seed that I can plant that may work for one person, the next individual is somebody different level. I have to rework and find another way that I'm going to maybe plant a seed with them. It's you got to discern and cater for everybody that you're experiencing.
Yeah, and as you kind of promote on your channel, if it's a seed of critical thinking, then they can apply it to everything else. If it's just a seed of exposing a few lies, but they don't know how to read through it by themselves, then they're just going to be vulnerable to more lies. And on YouTube, obviously, you can get lost quite easily on Psyops.
Exactly.
I don't know how many hundreds of videos that are just bullshit, but people just see through them. And
that's exactly. You've just made the point. My whole point. It's that it's teaching people how to recognise the lies and the bullshit. That's the most important thing. I can just keep pointing out to them every day. Oh, that's a lie. That's not right. That's a lie. But unless I explain my processes and how I came to that conclusion and how I recognise that it's a lie, they're never going to learn anything. They're never going to be, empowered in any way whatsoever. Again, it just comes into that whole role of, I know things you don't, and I can make myself out to be some sort of magical god, because, you're missing some aspect of yourself, It's as simple as that.
Well, that's definitely the wrong road, and all you're going to get is an egotistic answer, You're attacking the ego is going to answer. That's very clear. And also by sharing your process of how you got there, it's a process they can relate to, because we're all on a certain level of that process, further on, depending on our own experience. So there's going to be one thing they can relate with, and from then they can start their own journey.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm going to cut in again here, peeps. Dale, people are saying that it's going to answer phone on your phone. Ben, there's people are asking if you've got a contact for perhaps collaborating on some magical magician ship or stuff. It's up to you want to pick up on that. People can mail through to No Curve, and you can leave a mail drop with us if you like, if you don't want to put it on air.
Sure, that'll be perfect.
Excellent. I'm not been answering the phone just because I've got somebody here. I don't want to be ignorant and pick the phone up. So
as long as people know that.
I'm going to leave you guys so you can answer the phone. Then, Dale, thanks for having me on.
Ben, thanks, mate.
If you come back to Edinburgh for street interviews or things like that, pop me an email and I'll come down.
Certainly. I certainly will, mate. That's a plan. I will take you up on that. Be nice to meet you in person. Chat, man.
No problem. That'll be great.
Excellent, Ben. Appreciate you coming.
Take care. I'll be watching. Thank you, guys.
Nice one, man. Thanks, bud. Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Right. Well, I've got the phone in front of me now. If anybody rings, I will answer. There we go. Hello. Hi. Yeah, this is Dale.
I'm going to try and I'll turn the volume down now, actually. I've got you on two screens at the moment.
Yeah, you need to turn the volume of YouTube down.
Don't know how to approach this, but I've had some mad experiences now, I've been getting into flat earth for a while now, thirdly, I'm getting the impression, and it's shown me that basically there's a lot of fair few people out there that's got some intelligence. Like the amount of things that this subject is expanded to, it's quite amazing. Like I know where I'm at the moment is I don't know whether the Earth is a ball or flat. Basically, I don't believe there's any evidence whatsoever that is pure proof that can prove that it's a ball. The only thing that is swaying me sort of or catching me off at the moment, so whether it's flat or a ball, is just something that's so simple it's unbelievable. All it was, I live in North Wales, by the way. I was walking to Tesco and I was looking at the horizon in front of me, and basically I could see clouds lined up in my vision, and it didn't look. It was a big cloud. Didn't look that far, which also throws me because it's like, well, if it doesn't look that far, then it can't, proving out a ball. Like, but it didn't look that far. You know what I mean? I mean, where I live is a bit hilly. We're not at sea level. We are a little bit higher up, but not that high up. Like, and that's the only thing that's thrown me. Like, but I'll tell you some of my experiences in a minute. I'm going to try and rush through it all as well because I'm on a home phone and it's costing me for the call basically. Because you're on a mobile.
Yeah.
But like all the other things that flat Earth leads it into, all that to me is highly like, I'm more in the ball of, there's some of the things that basically, like the flat Earth, there's a lot of subjects around that, and it's just a possibility that, one or two might not be right, like, but all the others could be very valid. Like it might not be possible to get into space. We might be at the centre of the universe, and there could be a God. Evil could exist. Might not exist in the way we think of evil. I don't know. But my experience is right, which I know for a fact, that there is more on Earth that we can see, that we know. I know that for a fact because of my experiences. So I know there's more than what we just are at the moment. I know that for a fact. I can no longer, like people say, the alien subject. Now, at first, from my experiences, that's what I got into on YouTube. But then that led me to flat Earth, which opened my mind even further. And I'll start off with my first experience first, right,
Yeah.
I was in a place what we call a level. We had to go through a passageway first to get into this first of the field, which dips down, and you go over another, you go through a passageway over a stile, then in a field that then slopes down, and there's another stile, and we go and it's more gravelly and grass, by the big bank going up to our right. Fields on the left as well. It's like in like a ditch sort of thing, We've got trees, a stream running through, and there's like a little pond. We got over the second stile, a little bit further down, there's like a pond there, what we call the newts pond, because there's newts there. You can find frogs there, toads there, but we have another pond, what we called the frogs pond, so we named that the newts pond because there's newts in this pond, Anyway, we got over the first stile. I stopped everybody first. I said, whoa, stop here, let's talk about meeting up at a certain year, say the year 2000 or something. One lad said, we can talk about this on the way down there. I said, no, stop here, wait here a minute. And we carried on with the conversation, and I said, one of us might be dead by then, you never know. This one in particular that looks a bit funny, then starts smiling and jumping up, saying, who will it be, Alf? Who will it be? Will it be me? Will it be me? And so laughing. Another lad's watching him because it's funny. He starts then saying the same thing to me, who will it be, Alf? Will it be? I said, I don't know. I said, oh God, can't remember exactly now. But anyway, I said that. We finished the conversation. I said, right, we go now. We went over the second stile. Got to by this newts pond, and to the right on a bank, there's this grey thing. It had shape, but it had no definition, It was on the bank. It walked down so far. Eventually, it stopped. It stood there for a while. During this time, as I see it, I tell everybody, they all huddle in a group. There's a fence that goes right the way along, and then where this grey thing is on a bank, so it stops you from getting to the bank. It's like another grass area, but it's like goes way up, like. But I look as it's going on as well. As it starts, I ask everybody to shout and ask it who it is, what are you, and to come over here. So everyone's saying, who are you, what are you, come over here. Repeatedly, I look all the way around me to do a 360 turn. I say to myself, like, check this out, just see if there's anything else you can notice quickly. So I turn around, look all the way around me, look at all my mates. They're all still stood there, looking over and shouting at it, who are you, what are you, come over here. So I look and I think, this is happening, this is really happening, like. So I'm looking at this great thing. Eventually, it looks like it turns around, but it's hard to tell. Like I say, it's got no definition. It's just like this grey thing. It's like human form, but it's mad. It looks like it turns around to me. It walks so far back up the bank and it just disappears. I had to then quickly think on my toes again, look at my mates, say, pick one of them. I knew how to pick the right one, so he wouldn't answer me back. He jumped the fence and go where it was. So I pick one. I say, jump over the called him by his name, and go where it was. So he jumps over, goes straight there, he's walking around the spot where it was and all that, like, there's nothing here. It's like, well, I know that, like, you know what I mean? That was the first thing. Year after that, with a different lad, I'm in a place called Rill now, say about 15 miles away from me. I met these girls, we at this campsite, talking to them in the tent, and I'm sat on the car bonnet, talking to my mates, looking at the stars. It was 3 stars in a triangle. One slowly moved over to the other corner side, the other side, to where one of the other stars was slowly. It done that about 3 or 4 times. Eventually I said to me, let's go. I want to go home now, take us home. It was about 4:30 in the morning, halfway home, a beam of light comes outside of the car, but on the other side of the hedge that separates the road down to the field. So I say, see, I told you, stop the car. He said, no, I'm not stopping the car, do you want to stop the car? I said, listen, I want to see what it is. Well, this is roughly how the conversation went, yeah. He had his arms locked out straight forward. He said, I'm not stopping the car for nothing. I thought, by the way, I threatened to pull the handbrake up on him if he didn't stop. But he didn't. He had his arms locked down. He said, I'm not stopping the car for nothing. Do whatever you want, yeah? Well, not stupid. I just said that to try and get him to do it.
Yeah.
So he didn't stop. So then, the beam lights went off. Amazing. Year after, with a different lad again now, played football on a Sunday, dead sunny, what we call one at the mountain. I bought a car. I finished football, went home, had a bath, then had some salad, then went to pick up the car. On the way back, see this electric thing in the sky now. It's round at the front, then it's like cones at the back. I'm looking at it. It didn't look like it was moving at first, but it could have been. And I'm like, can you see that? He's like, yeah, I know. And then it was like, then that's when I could notice it moving. Then we just watched it, what we call over the D, yeah? The S3, over Liverpool way. And we actually stopped off at the police station because it was on the way back to report it. So we actually reported that. But I went in work the day after. Someone showed me in a magazine. They said it was a Russian satellite that was crashing back. So I thought, well, okay, that could be that. Year after again now, my best mate who I grew up with wasn't with me on any of them occasions. And I thought I was a bit sad that. But on a few occasions I've come out into the streets, we'd be walking up the street. Here's all been a UFO spotter and start laughing. And I just say, give me a few minutes. I said, every time I think about this kind of stuff, I always see something. And then I think that happened about 3 times. And this other fella in the street, we were talking to him by his front gate. Same happened again. I come out, he was walking up, said the same thing. We had a laugh. I said, yeah, give us a few minutes. Started talking to this fella. And he pointed up behind me, above me. I said, yeah, Alf, is that what you mean? And a jumbo jet was coming over, flying quite low. And then it was it's just a plane. And it got all going over me. And I noticed behind it is this black stealthy object, small thing. So I'm watching this now go over me. I take my eyes off it 3 or 4 times. I look at it on about 3 or 4 occasions. I take my eyes off it, and I'm thinking, why me? Why? Because all you're doing to me now is making people laugh at me. Because some people, when they heard about some of the experiences, they sort of like take the piss in that, like, but I can understand that when you're at an early age, certain things, when they're new to you especially things like that, you haven't been taught, when you're going about what they teach us in schools, we haven't been taught anything in relation to that. So basically, there's not a lot I can say about any of my experiences at the time, because I haven't learned nothing, I haven't seen nothing, I haven't heard anyone else talk about anything like that. And when I did hear about people saying they they've seen things, you sort of like don't want to believe them, you won't believe them, or plus there's some people that do lie. And then so that was the 4th thing. And then I've gone through life, and over the last couple of years I got into it more, and flat earth come up and all that. But also other experiences I've had with dreams. I've had a dream where I had 2 mates here with me. I woke up, and after this dream I've made it clear how real it was, how it meant something, and I wrote it down and I told them about it. It's just like working in a factory with these tall big black guys on this line. Anyway, after that slowly that fades away. I don't know how much time went by, and then I got this job in this factory what I dreamt, and then I was on this line, these big tall black guys. And I'm like, wow, that's that dream I had. And then I had another dream after that. One of the lads from them 2 that were me in that dream, I had another dream working in a credit union, which is like a bank. I woke up, explained to him, reminded about the last dream, couldn't emphasize how much the dream felt real, and I say, there's no way this can happen. This credit union is like a bank. I haven't worked in an office or done anything like that before. And then a bit of time went by, and then all of a sudden I'm doing voluntary work in this credit union. I'm like, wow. I had another dream after that, where I was on my own. There's this lad I hadn't seen for years.
So,
quite a few years.
So,
and I was walking down the town, on the right hand side, and he was walking up towards me. So I woke up. So he was like, walk downtown. I said, okay, I'm gonna brush my teeth, I'll put some clothes on, and I'll walk downtown. So I did this, and then there he was walking towards me. Now, what I'm with flat earth and everything, I mean, there's just so so much, information when it in regards to flat earth and what you learn. Wow, it's amazing. Because of the dreams, I'm now discounting aliens. Because I was leaning towards that way, yeah. The only thing I can think that could have done anything like that would be God. Now, there is other things as well. I've said I went to Tenerife. I had my 18th in Tenerife. I come back. I had to take my mum and dad. I was fostered by them, by the way. But their son, who was my brother, as soon as he was 16, which he was quite a bit older than me, as soon as he was 16, he moved right down to the bottom of the country, Portsmouth, but he joined the Navy. I said, right, we're going down to see David. You coming with me, or you know what I mean? Because I'm going. So they went. I took my mum and dad to see their son. My niece was there, which was my sister's daughter, which is only a couple of years younger than me. She said, why have you got to go? What's so important about going down there? I said he's going to die in the future. I said, not now, way in the future. And then late, many years passed to that, and he moved back up here. He split with his wife. He had 2 kids. I think he was here. He moved about 30 miles away. He got a flat. I think it was about 30 miles away. And he actually died. But I just think that these things that happened are real, yeah? I just think there's like a message there. And basically, it was done in such a way, so I just lived my life up to a certain point until the right time came along when it was time to sort of start putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah.
Like flat earth, NASA, there's no way to prove the curve. What they show you is just like, wow, it's unreal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I can't let myself fully say, look, it's definitely flat, because it could be evolved, but like I say, it could be in the centre, and I'm thinking I don't really want to completely commit to that.
Well,
Stay on just that path. Looking, we're going to start expanding a bit and looking, well, is there any more into this? Because like I say, I'm led now to, that there's more. Well, there's definitely more, and I've got to look at, for me, in my point of view, there's reasons why that happened to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's other things as well, I've said, to loads of family. When my mum died, not last year, the year before, family would go to the hospital, and we'd all be there with my mum, and I'd say certain things, and I'd point it out, I say, look, coincidence, you know what I mean?
Right.
How many times can coincidence happen? And I'd talk about certain subjects that were in the paper the day after, like football, match fixing, there's a few things.
So I take it your point is that there's a metaphysical aspect, there's something more to reality. Is that what you're saying then? Yeah.
Well, there's definitely something off.
Yeah.
And with the flat earth aspect, like I say, it could be evolved, but I don't know. But with all the evidence, I'm swayed towards flat.
Yeah.
But it's just when I walked to Tesco and I saw them clouds quite not that far, they were high level. I'm like, well, really, from that distance, they shouldn't really be high level. But at the same time, I think, they do seem a little bit too close for that. It's like, is a perspective somehow interfering with what I'm thinking? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know about clouds in regards to the shape of the earth, but for me, it's an ongoing investigation. It's a level plane of some sorts, and we know that because it's filled with liquid, and we know beyond a shadow of a doubt how liquid behaves. And again, what the full dimensions are is an ongoing investigation. I don't claim to know exactly what it is, and I don't think anybody else should. So, but again, me myself, I've had personal experiences that I don't talk much about because it's not something that I can bring and show people. So it could cause more confusion with people. But for me personally, I think there's a lot more to life and reality than what we realise right now. I suffered a lot of, not suffered, but experienced things like what they call sleep paralysis. I had out-of-body experiences, watching my physical body, being tethered to the physical body. I've had loads of things that I can't explain, So I don't rule out anything in regards to what's actually going on here and, what it is we're actually involved in. So that.
There's a lot like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know there's another channel, he's been doing live, and sometimes they talk about it, but what they say as well is they want to stay away from the subject of God.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my experience is it's like, it's something, you know what I mean?
Well, that's it.
Eventually, we need to go down that avenue and explore a little bit more.
Well, that's it.
In relation to this.
If there's a method of studying the metaphysical, then I'm all for it. If we're going to get down that avenue, we have to have some.
I'm seeing you and others talk about all this kind of stuff. It does seem a little bit like, it's like I think, like with my, thinking that, I was able to, because of the way it's laid out, so I was allowed to live my life a certain way, like everybody else. didn't have to go into them, and then all these lot sort of like waking up to the reality, you know, what we're being told, how we're being spoke to, all that kind of stuff. It's all coming in sync with me. I love quite a few other people, like, so I think there's a, you know, there's a big puzzle out there for us to put together, like.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, definitely. There's so many aspects of it. But for me, you know, I stick to this subject purely for how it was going to progress and how the rest of the world would receive it. And that's why I removed these other subjects from it. Of course, I'm still willing to discuss them and talk about them, but we are far removed from anything provable right now. You know, that's not to say that they don't require questions or investigation. But listen, man, I appreciate you phoning, but I'm going to have to cut because I need to go to the toilet. I'm busting here, man.
Yeah, okay, Peter, I've said that better now. Like, it's just like 3 to 4, that's all, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
well, you're welcome to phone back any other time, or you can come on the live. You don't need to show your face. You can just come on and
no, it's like I've actually got 3 TVs on with me. I've got one playing the TV, I've got PS4 on now with you on, and I have to use the internet on the Xbox One to actually get to the chat, because for some reason on the PS4 it won't do
get
that.
The chat. Yeah, cool.
So I actually switch the internet off and
right.
give a TV now. But yeah, I'll keep watching it. I like it. You know, just at some point, you know, I mean, you know, the scripted and all that kind of stuff, and that, you know, there's a lot out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. So
you've got to touch on some of the other things, like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. I do touch on them, and as I say, people are only seeing me now. If you get back to my previous, you know, way back at the start, I talk about some of my experiences and spirituality and stuff like that. So it's not that, you know, these things don't deserve to be questioned and looked at. That's not my message at all. But,
with all the experiences, yeah, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people out with me at them times,
that's it, man. Listen, thanks very much for sharing, bud, and you're welcome to phone or come on, as I say, live any other time. I'm going to have to cut because I really need to go to the toilet here, man. I'm going to piss myself on.
Yeah, cool, dude.
All right. Cheers, man.
See you for now, sir.
Take it easy, bud. Marshall, I'm just going to the toilet, mate.
Cool, dude. Well, interesting phone in there, peeps. Sure, we'll hear a lot more experiences along that line. Well, maybe not today, eh? Other people that are waiting to call onto the line's free now. Obviously, you're going to wait a second for Dad to get back. I'm not going to read any of this out. And others that are mailing in, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you as soon as we're off air. So thanks for the mails. I haven't checked the content yet. Dave Higg was asking me to sing, man. You got to be joking. I can't sing. See, if I was prepped for this, I'd have some elevator music or something, wouldn't I? So, again, ill prepared. I'll throw the link out one more time. Anybody else wants to join?
Right.
Right. Well, it's getting bad though because people are asking me to sing, dude.
What are we doing? We're doing an all-nighter, or are we just going to stay on all night?
I think there are other phone calls queued though. The last gentleman was fairly insistent.
Cool. I'm just going to make a wee smoke while I'm waiting here now. I say, you know, to the chap who phoned in, you know, I hear many people's experiences. Hang on, I've got a phone call. Hello?
Is that you, Dal?
Yeah, speaking.
Good day, mate. Johnny here, pal.
How you doing?
All right, brother. Good now. Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, man.
Great stuff, yeah. Busy online, mate. Yeah, crazy out there.
Yeah.
Just a few things. We know it's flat.
Yeah.
We know it's flat. Simple.
Yeah.
We all know it's flat. Regards to a firmament, who's ever going to know? Who's ever going to know?
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get up there, you're coming back down again.
Yeah.
Because it's magnetism. That barrier is magnetism.
Right.
You push 2 magnets together, 2 neodymium magnets, you can't push them together because of the barrier. You can't see the barrier.
Yeah.
Now, why? Why, if we're on a flat earth, would they say it's a ball? We're a mining colony. We've been mined for thousands of years. Greedy families have decided that they want and they will have. And it's as simple as. It's very simple. People say aliens, but if you say a lie, it's a lie. Same as belief. Belief is a lie, but it's got a lie in it.
Yeah.
Anything with the word lie. The language is a lie.
Yeah.
You know, it's all a lie. So 500 years, well, I'm talking past there, a long time past there. This is just because of the bloodline died off. So they had to replace it with something, and whoever decided to do it, let's have a go. And you've had a mason up, and the masons told you the same stuff. They're all old men.
Yeah.
They're all old men, mate.
Yeah.
We are more. We already know we're more than they are. We already know that. deep inside, you know we are more than what they say we are.
Yeah.
Deep inside, you know we are brothers. Deep inside, you know we are all brothers. Deep inside, you know we are all sisters, brothers, and we are all united. In this, we know that this lie goes back a long time. I mean, you talk about hieroglyphs. How did they do that? How did they have the technology? Hey, talk about sound and copper. Sound waves through copper will cut through stone.
Yeah.
Talk about stone. What is stone? There's no stone. Stone is not stone. There's no such thing as stone. There's no stones on flat earth because they all used to be trees. And if you look at the mountain, and we can go on because flat earth is so complex. It really is, but it's not. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple to understand. Families took over for years, decades, millions. I don't know how many years. But the fact is, we all know this.
Yeah.
We all know. And now, if we look at what is heading towards, now, people said to see lights in the sky. Yeah, well, whatever. Satellites, don't exist. Like balloons, yeah, maybe. TVs, TVs, everybody's got one. Television, they're all hooked. Everybody's got one. You have to work it out yourself. It's simple. Watch your television and stay under. And stay in your house and waste your time. Because you ain't got much of it, because nobody else. Waste your time. And then darkness falls because nobody wants to do anything. Well, I'm sorry. You know as well as I do, Del, things are changing.
Yeah.
Things are changing. And then, do you know what, mate? Do you like your experience on this plane?
Do I like it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. And it don't matter. Nothing matters, pal, except for the truth, does it not?
That's it, mate. Exactly.
Truth. And the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Now, let's go back. Let's go back to granite. Let's go back to quartz. Let's go back to minerals, for instance. Mineralogy. They've lied to us about it all, okay? So let's listen in, do some research on mineralogy, and don't do some research in a book because they'll lie. You have to do some what do you have to do, mate? You have to do some
Practical. Practical, yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's your point, Del.
That's it,
And I'll
mate.
tell you what, guess how I found out?
Is it?
Natural science, my friend.
Excellent.
My brother.
Excellent.
Del, I love you, mate. I love you, my brother.
Cheers, bud.
And I love all you flat earthers. Serious, man.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it. Oh, same,
Yeah, great stuff.
same to
Hey,
yourself.
let's just one little simple thing, Del. Right, let's go for quartz. If we look at mineralogy, quartz, gold is formed within veins of quartz. I'm correct in saying. Now, veins of quartz are compressed. And the only reason that we've got veins of quartz and veins of gold is because the trees that the veins of quartz came from, that was buried. It was buried underwater.
Yeah.
If we don't be careful, the Creator, whether we believe it or not, the floodgates will open. And I'm not trying to scare anybody because I love everybody. But we've got a chance here, Del.
Yeah.
You understand that, don't you?
Yeah.
And the chance is now, is it not?
Yeah.
And we're taking it, are we not?
Well, hopefully, man. Hopefully that's why I'm doing what I'm doing,
Yeah. Well, we've got to keep it simple, Del. And simple is, we live on a flat plane. We know that. Why can't we get out? Think about magnetism. If you do a bit of research on magnetism, you've got magnetism, diamagnetism, paramagnetism, electromagnetism. There's all that. The worth of study, worth a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Those are worth a little bit of time. Get yourself some diamedium magnet. They're well worth.
Yeah.
To understand a little bit more. And as far as it goes for gold was plentiful. And if we look at mountains, if we look at around that range, there's sense to be seen. It's got to be seen. You've got to understand. People have got to understand themselves.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand themselves, how would they ever understand? And the fact is, if you understand, then you understand.
Yeah.
I love you, Del. I love your show.
Thanks, man.
Hey, peace, my friend.
Thank you for phoning, bud. Cheers for
I
that.
love you, my brother. All the best, eh?
Take it easy, man. Thank you for phoning in.
Hey, man.
Cheers, bud.
Hey, bye.
Thanks, man. I'll read some messages out here. This is Dan from China. Love your passion, Del. Really enjoyed this evening's discussions. Keep planting those seeds. Thank you very much. Hi, Del Kai from Brighton. Has anyone done or going to do an actual experiment to actually measure any water curvature, lack of, i.e. a fishing line or cable pulled tight above the water? Thanks. Well, if people need that to satisfy them, then that's fine. But, that's the whole point. You're measuring water. Water is the measuring tool. Water, I don't know how many times I need to say this, and I'm not being, dismissive, Kai. As I say, if people need that for their own benefit, that's fine. I don't. Water does not support itself. It is incapable of supporting itself to conform to any shape. It's always going to collapse and push outwards. And if it can't push outwards, it's just going to keep rising and keep rising and keep rising. It will never support itself like that. I don't know how visually simple I can make it. It doesn't have the capacity to be able to support itself like that. It doesn't matter how slight the curve is. It doesn't matter, you know. You can make it 1,000,000 miles and it's still just going to keep falling flat and pushing it, falling flat and pushing it. That's its physical behaviour. That's reality. If I was to measure anything to see whether it was level or flat, I would use the liquid, the water. That is the measuring tool. What people are suggesting is creating man-made instruments to measure an instrument that is more accurate than the instrument you could possibly devise. I mean, but if people need that for satisfaction, that's fine. But it's what I'm saying that's important. If we can articulate that to people, fluid dynamics and fluid mechanics is well understood within science. It's undeniable. It's never going to change, you know. So, is this on just now? Yep, that's Mark. So, how are we in the chat box? Let's have a wee look and see what's happening. Is there still people here?
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's still people here, dude.
Right, oh, get another phone call. This looks like a similar number again. Maybe not. Hello?
Hi, Bill. How are you doing?
How you doing?
Not bad. Hold on, I'll just mute YouTube. Very cool. Aye, interesting show today. Very interesting, mate. Unexpected. I had things to do, but ended up getting stuck listening to this.
So I'm keeping you from your chores, man.
It was just to say about that whole deception thing that you were talking about before, you know, that French guy. I found that pretty interesting, you know.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a bit of a red herring, though, because people can see this in their everyday life.
Yeah.
You know, when you just think about interactions you have with any authority, and it's there to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you think about managers, they do that thing, supervision, where they kind of assess you and they get you to speak, and that's how they get things out of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you end up giving stuff up. It's like, you know, it's like the police or social workers, they do the same thing. It's all this, you know, they're trained in how to do that.
Yeah.
They're, you know, and then people say, all right, I've had interactions with the police maybe, or a social worker or a manager at work, and they understand it when it's in that context. When you take the same tactics and put in another kind of context, like say YouTube or speaking to people in the everyday life, they don't recognise it. They just see it as you know.
Yeah.
They recognise it in one scenario, but not in the other.
Yeah.
It's like a failure to learn almost.
It's a selective. I think some people are just selective, and they have a bias, and I think they sense when something threatens their bias, and they'll just look for, you know, any way out of it, you know.
Also, that thing about education, I mean, you know, we're all, you know, I've heard it said many times on your channel. It's like, you know, people say, education's a bad thing. People have been taught this through the school system, and I can only speak from my own personal experience. I didn't achieve anything at school, but then I went on to kind of quite good stuff through various means, getting a helping hand, I suppose, ended up going to uni and doing postgrad and whatever. And to be honest, I think that taught me more in that environment about, so I had to get I suppose you could call it an arts degree, sociology, and went on to be a social worker and whatever. But it taught me critical thought. It taught me to, you know, things like the hidden curriculum, how we are really taught and what we are really taught. They were quite open about that. There was no secret.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, well, there it is. That's what happens, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that the majority of people don't go on and have that experience.
I think that's it, Bill.
Yeah.
I think that's the you know, like gathering people, saying his experience and coming out and yourself, and say, well, you know, like you're saying, people who don't have that opportunity or haven't had that experience.
Yeah.
And I think it's not quite, it's a bit disingenuous to say that education per se is kind of negative.
Yeah.
I think it's negative in the beginning. It teaches you to be a good soldier.
Yeah.
And then you can get into higher education. And from my experience, I went to quite a big uni. It's this massive library. I read everything.
Yeah.
I just went in the library every day and went,
the stuff's there for people, you know. It's just that they don't have any incentive to go and find it, you know. They're just caught up with whatever else is happening in their life. But I think it's like you say, they get you from the young age, and as soon as they've got their firewall in place, that's it. You know, they're a bit easier about letting you free, as long as they have their parameters set. you know. So there's a lot there. It's like it's that generalising where everything's bad or everything's good, or no, you know, we can sift through and pick out what is useful and what's not useful, you know. So
I was just going to ask, so if you nosy, I know you kind of didn't like really talking about past experiences and that. What was your experience with the education system then?
I had a kind of emotional upheaval. I was never really there, you know, focused in school. My concentration wasn't there. But my experience is that there was no support for individuals. There was no support for any creative outlet. It was pretty much, you know, aggressive, bad-mannered, ill-mannered teachers, if you like. You know, that's maybe just my experience. But I never really gave anything for school. Although I got some awards for physical education and craft and design. You know, these types of things. But as I say, I never once was taught things like I keep bringing up the trivium and, you know, how our minds work, how we can communicate with each other, how we assess information. There was none of that for me. Maybe that comes later on, as you say, you went to university and experienced a bit of it, but I never had that kind of opportunity, you know.
I think it's pretty similar stuff to myself. I mean, I went to school with absolutely no exam results whatsoever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was classed as disruptive, thick, and I probably think it was at the opposite end of the spectrum, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know, I'll give that a bash. Did an access course off, I went to uni. And that seemed to me a different environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was only what you made it.
That's it.
You had the freedom to kind of question and actually be quite critical.
Yeah.
Stand up and actually, you know, challenge the lecturers.
Yeah.
You know, some of the time they didn't like it. Some of the time you were completely and utterly wrong and being an arse. It was a good experience.
Well, that's the difference, though. You're an adult there, and they don't have that bullying attitude over you, where they can, you know, just shut you down because of age, size, and experience. You know, it's different when you're in primary school, say, and even high school. You're still no man enough to be able to recognise these things and stand up to them properly. You know.
I think you're correct there.
Yeah.
Plus, I didn't go to uni until I was 25.
No, exactly.
I was like a man, so they actually just brought me in the situation.
Well, that's it.
You know?
That's it. That's the difference, though, isn't it? Yeah. So.
Anyway, nice to speak to you again, Dan. Cheers for putting that on, man.
No problem.
Speak to you again at some point. Okay.
Definitely. Thank you, man. Thanks for phoning. Take it easy. Cheers. Right. I still have the Infinite Guys thing opened, and I can see some of the comments at the bottom. He seems to be jealous of your content, IPS, wasting your time, brother. Utter nonsense. But if that's the characters that are running about there and pushing that kind of shit, then fine, so be it. I'll go back to that wee point, and then I'm probably going to wrap up. I'll come to chat and see who's there. People just be diligent and question characters and anybody pushing themselves as some sort of saviour. For me, it's really important that we understand how we get in this mess and how we can empower people, which is my goal. That's where I feel, you know, it's important in order for us to achieve any sort of change. Going over and over the same old thing with the same level of mind and doing the same repetitive patterns is not going to change anything. You know, they might just freshen it up with something that dazzles people for a while at the hope of keeping them within the same frame of mind. Who knows? But you just need to be careful. So I'm going to go to chat and see if anybody's got anything to say, and then I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a wee long afternoon. Right, people. Marshall, how's things? I'm just going to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're all cool here. Do this. No, you know, nothing that needs attending to apart from my need for a big fat one.
Cool, mate. Cool. As I say, people, it's just about the intention, you know, of people and what they're up to. And I question that, and I get suspicious. I'm just like everybody else. I'm fallible, and I call things out the way I see them. And that's it. You know, what harm can that do? You know, if people are open for discussion and want progression, then it shouldn't matter. You know, so I appreciate everybody who came on the day and everybody in chat as usual. Thank you very much. And people who phoned and messaged, appreciate it as always. We'll be back on Saturday again, usual time. So thanks to everybody in chat and any of the moderators who are there, Marshall as well. Appreciate it. Thanks, people. Keep at them. Keep your wits about you. Yes.